So, hi guys. So we're back here. Okay. So let's see how many are online even. We have 7 people now. I was thinking to start something else, and for example, what we're gonna do now is take and break down all the arguments from the internet where people are arguing against actual Jeet Kune, okay? So, but for starters, we're gonna look at something, and that's, please tell me if I'm too loud or too or the music is too loud or whatever. So we're gonna try this here out. Wait a second. Let me find the file. There you go. Okay, so so no problem, guys. Okay, I'm gonna get to your questions in the chat. Just in a moment. Okay, so okay, let's go for this here. Okay, so we are gonna go through some pictures of from the fighting method book. Okay, to look at Jeet Kune and to look at what's actually Jeet Kune to Bruce and what he was teaching back in the day, especially considering that is 1967. So here you have a stance of Jeet Kune from that period of time, and you can see here that is already pretty closed. Okay, so if you draw a line, you would probably have 2 to heel. At the later point, he moved his rear leg so more behind him, so you would actually have these legs even more in line compared to the opponent. Okay, and the rear hand is covering. Here you can see the elbows are pretty far away, still from the upper body. Later on, he's getting more compact in this. So the hands going more like here instead of, you know, far out. Okay, let's watch the next one. Can I go left, right? Oh, there you go. Same picture two time. Oh, music is too loud. I mean, it's too loud for me. Let me tune this down. Okay. So you have some background music as well. Okay. So same picture here. So then you can see here rear view, and then you can see here incorrect. Okay, here's one is Ted Wong and here's Danny Santo. So Danny Santo clearly knew the Jeet Kune because he was around at that time, and Ted Wong as well, because he's also there. So the wrong is if you stand too open, so your groin is here opened, and if you stand like overcrossed, okay, this is also wrong because you lose what you say in English, balance. Okay, so when a Jeet Kune guy stands in front of you, you shouldn't actually be able to see his rear foot or rear heel. Okay, let's look the next one. This is advanced shuffle. Okay, so where you just step forward with your front foot and then you reposition your rear leg. Okay, simple as that. Okay, this is basic footwork. Quick advance is actually where you can see it in this picture, but I think in the next one, where you move your rear leg here, and then you move your front leg. Or is it a push shuffle here? You can't see from the... That's a problem with the pictures. So you can't... You don't see any movement. You see just... You only see moments of a movement, okay? Yeah, that's... Okay, so that's what I thought. Okay, so you move your rear leg to the front leg, which you have here. And then the front leg moves from here to here, which you have then in this picture. And you're back in stance, okay? So you can see this stance is actually here slightly different than from this one. You have here open hand. Here you have your open hand, and here. And here is it's just like a fist, okay? So the rear hand should be higher when you punch or when you attack, so you have more cover. Okay, so the next one is a step to the left, no, to the right, from his side to the right. So you stand in line, okay? Then you step here, which is this one, and you shift your weight to your right, and then the rear leg reposition itself, so you come back into the stance, okay? And when you do the left stance, so you stand here normal, okay? Then your rear leg moves from here to here, and your front leg should check. So he's still checking his groin, so his front leg isn't just straightened, okay? And then you move your right leg back to the position, so you're in stance again, okay? And also here, before you move, you shift your weight. Okay, here's impact point with your knuckles, bottom 3 knuckles to the target. Okay, when you punch the face, straight lead. Okay. Finger jab, the classic, you know, what you actually barely see in Jeet Kune concepts, but here also, okay. You can see here, alone from these two pictures, you can take a lot. And what you can take is, he starts with a fist, and he goes from the fist to the finger jab, okay. So you should learn how to do finger jab from here back to here, okay? Not just from here, but also from here, finger jab, and then go back into the fist. Because you don't want, even if you're in a fight, you don't want to telegraph that you're gonna do finger jab, so you keep your fist clenched all the time. Not tense, but just keep it close, okay? And keep it relaxed. And here, here's one type of finger jab you can do, like here. Okay, let's see, like here, okay, and other type finger jab is you can do it like spear. You can see both types in this book. Okay, you see these fingers, and you see how his fingers, how all of his fingers are bent, and here as well. So you don't keep it like this, you keep it like this. Okay, so in case you hit the hard surface, the finger can give back. Okay. So paper target, one of the best training devices you can find for snapping and for speed in punching. Okay, that's what's seen in the text, but you can't see it here. Okay, next picture is training the finger jab. Okay, so he had here a special device made by James Lee, and here's Wing Chun dummy. He's still used sometimes for simple techniques, and here is, I think this is a leather. He uses it like a Makiwara, but for finger jab. Okay, so to strengthen the finger, it's the same. Okay, so now you see how when you punch with a straight lead, so the forearm should always point to the target. So you don't punch from here like this. Okay, you punch like this. Okay, guys, 1967. Okay, so here you can see here the guy is punching in this case Ted Wong, and here it looks like here as if Bruce would catch his hand, but this is not catching hand. This is raising the hand in order to kick. Okay, and then he is powering here or checking his hand while he is kicking into the groin. Okay. So technically you don't even need this to do, because you evaded the punch anyway. Okay, so kick to the groin, and here you can see Bruce is feinting attack and using this momentum to shuffle back and shuffle fast with a kick to the knee. Oh, look at this again, something that we are teaching, but almost nobody else, or they just mention this, but when you look at the training, they almost never do this. But this is like main tactic. You should do this all the time. And same here. The guy is punching, Bruce is waiting to the left, okay, and kicking to the groin simultaneously, basically at the same time. Same here, groin, okay. And anyone who has seen Bruce kicking in movies or in demonstrations, he can imagine how fast this leg goes to the groin. Okay, you can't even, just quick as hell. And then you have here, I think, what is it? Maybe side kick. It could be also a hook kick. Hey, it's a side kick. Okay, so here's a forwards advance. Okay, so he is stepping forward, lifting his leg, and then landing in the knee. Okay, and look, his cover, this hand covers here and this hand is here, so in case he misses, he can use this hand for the back fist. Okay, oh, so my coffee went to the carpet. Okay, so here's the same. Okay, low side kick, main attacking technique in Jeet Kune. You should do this at every training. Either you train alone or you train with partner. You should repeat this technique at least 500 times. Okay, at least. So here's the same. Okay, same technique. Kick to the groin. A different picture. Okay, same here. So now we have here a guy is attacking with his rear left. Bruce is covering here, and he's going here to the eyes. Okay. So what I would say here, you know, in later stage, Bruce would have probably looked to evade the punch and the finger jab instead of blocking the punch. Okay, because remember, this is still 1967 and the stance is still slightly open, so you can more easy or you can. It's not so much difficult to use left hand for blocking and anything. Okay, so this would actually be last result if you didn't see the punch coming and couldn't evade it. Then you would go from here to here and then finger jab. Okay. So this is the same picture from above. This is actually too close distance, but nevertheless, he's leaning back, kicking to the groin, and leaning to the left. Same picture, I think, like before. Okay, oh, we have here, okay, so advancing away from the opponent while he's side kicking, you can use the same footwork when somebody tries to tackle you, okay? And then you can shift back to the side kick to the knee, or in this case, because Bruce deflected his kick, he turned the opponent slightly, so the opponent lands basically with the back towards him, and then he countered to the groin from the rear, okay? Primary targets in Jeet Kune. The two primary targets in fighting, okay, are the eyes and the groin. A solid groin blow can quickly incapacitate or even cause death to a man, no matter how physically powerful he is. Okay? Even a light blow can render a man unconscious. However, okay, is dispelled. Wait. So then you have here some examples of the groin kick, and then you have here example how you should cover your groin. Okay. And here's the finger jab again, and here's a Mr. Inosanto. He's holding Bruce here and tries to punch him at the same time, and the Bruce just counters with a finger jab with the left. Okay. No trapping, complicated trapping bullshit. Okay. Here are other vital targets: throat, ribs, edge of the rib, okay, plexus, knee, shin, ankle. And should be also jaw and shin should be there, and temple as well. And then you have here primary targets again, you know, go back to here, knee, shin, ankle. Depends on the distance, this is actually primary target. Shin less, if you have really hard shoes, you can break a shin of the guy. And then you have here some examples how you can attack this. Side kick, and here's actually a front kick. Or stop kick. Finger jab, the classic, okay? Finger jab, the classic. So, here you can see as well, so the guy is starting to punch with his rear, and look at this here, the Bruce is already with his finger jab in. Yeah, and technically he wouldn't need this covering hand here, because at the moment he does the finger jab, this attack collapses. In case you miss, then you have your cover here. Here same, just with a straight lead instead of finger jab, okay? But here you can see how Bruce is punching this static without a push shuffle. Later on, you would actually add push shuffle. Okay, and then we have here same idea, just here opponent is here left side forward, here this also left side forward, but different angle. Okay, and now you can see how his positioning is. Okay, straight lead, covering a hand. Okay, covering a hand here. So because the hands of this guy are here, so the cover of Bruce is slightly lower, so you can cover this line, okay? If the hands were here, you could even cover lower. If the hands were higher, you would go higher, okay, with your cover. Depends on where the threat is. Hi, Young. Wie geht's, man? Okay, then we have here, again, the guy is punching and you're countering. So look at this distance. This is the correct distance. And the guy is punching, he's going low and he's stepping in to punch. And you sidekick, and he sidekicks the guy to the knee, okay? Okay. Basic. Here, same idea, just a different angle, okay? And then we have, oh, here's a better stance, so you can see that here Here elbows are more on the body and more they are more tucked in, okay? And he looks far more relaxed here. And then the guy, he tries anything, and Bruce, you know, push shuffles in, and he makes the contact with the target before the foot here, front foot, lands. Right? Textbook straight lead, except his cover is here, you know, not where it should be. But nobody's perfect. Also, he didn't use this picture. Remember, this picture was chosen by other people. And here you can see here the straight lead as well from behind. And then you can see here, look, he's walking, the guy is standing, and then he attacks, and he's here already taking a distance while he's walking, and then sidekicking the guy. Okay. No, you know, like trapping, 15,000 different techniques. Here from behind, he notices here that somebody is following him. The moment he hears or sees that the guy is behind, and then you can sidekick to the rear, also to the leg. Same. Okay, guys. You can see better when I go there. Oh, let's move my picture. Let's move my picture slightly to the left. Okay. Next one. Ah, that's the same. Okay, so the guy goes down, and what does the Bruce? He kicks also to the groin, just for, you know, to make it sure. Okay, so here the guy punches with his left. Bruce shifts his weight to the right, away from the punch, and goes to the eyes. And here's the same, just that he uses his rear hand for the eye jab. Well, here, eye jab here, eye jab here. Okay. You can see that? Everybody sees that? Nice. Here, somebody tries to do an arm lock on him. You just sidekick the guy to the knee and break his knee. Simple as that. You don't try. It's now it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu time. No, it's not. Here's a simple. If he's holding you, you just punch the guy across the picture. There you go. And here as well, so he's been held here at the belt, which is pretty unusual, but you know, as he is probably because he doesn't wear any jacket, so they do it here, but it's basically the same idea if somebody would hold you here up on the shoulder. And then he wants to punch him, he shifts, he waits actually the punch at the same time using left finger jab. Okay? And then here is he's being pulled back, and he turns, he uses this momentum to use the back fist to the guy's face. If the guy would be any closer, you would actually use the elbow. Okay? So somebody tries to, how do you say this, to hold his neck, and you go here as well to the eyes, okay? So simplest, same idea, you go with the other hand to the eyes, you see here, from behind, okay? And here you can do also, same idea, you can do a groin blow. So, same situation, 3 ideas. Going to the eyes with the left, going to the eyes with the right, or punching to the groin with the left. No grappling, no top mountain, no bullshit for the ring, okay? Okay, that's it. These are the pictures. So let me see. Let me see. Okay, so guys, let me read through some comments. Okay, so Sharad Rai, hi Sharad. So sir, please explain me a Jeet Kune origin. A Jeet Kune origin, the late stage of Jeet Kune is a boxing and fencing. Okay, which doesn't mean you go in a boxing school and you go in the fencing school and you train boxing and fencing, and you can then do boxing Jeet Kune. That's not how it's work. What is? Okay. So, hi Daka. I'm good. How are you? Farid Ahmed, hi, how are you? So I'm going to make a comment and ask a question. Going to have a break into 3 parts. Please bear with me. Thanks in advance. Okay, part 1. 2 streams ago, I asked about the short lead and short and long lead. You answered my question. Thank you. A while back, I watched a clip on the Martial Art Academy YouTube. So I don't really care about other guys. I know what they mean. They mean one punching a long lead, like pulling the body behind, and one is short, but you don't use the hip. You should always use the hip with your lead punch. Okay, there's no short lead like this. You know, at the time of the fighting method books, it may be true, but at later on, because you can punch the right body mechanics, but at the same time shuffling backwards, okay, and still use the hip in your punch. Because if you punch without your hip, okay, you lose a lot of power. So that's why we don't use this short lead. Okay, I know what you mean. And they describe the long lead as the long lead is a committed punch, while the short lead is shorter because you use a push step. Yeah, push step you use with long lead. You see, not full shoulder twist. You should always twist your shoulder. If you're too close for a lead punch, then you should use different technique, like a shovel straight, or shovel hook, or a different hook. Okay, so every distance has its technique. If you can't use a proper lead technique in the distance, you shouldn't use it, because otherwise you compromise the power. Okay, that's because these guys don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Doug again. I read somewhere that before his passing, he wanted to go back to the method books and edit them. Yes, that's in here. There's a foreword from Shannon Lee, and she said that in this book. So I'm gonna read this just. Okay, so Bruce Lee's original idea for the fighting method was to write an exclusive limited book edition, not more than 200 copies on Jeet Kune. Okay, he had the pictures taken for this purpose. The photos were taken in late 1967 after he coined the term Jeet Kune. However, after the pictures were done, he changed his mind about publishing a JKD book later in 1972 and 1973. This is pretty much before his death. He began to work again on sequencing these same photos and writing captions for them. So it's possible that he was reconsidering the project at that time. Okay, so you're right with your claim. It's literally written in this book. Okay. So. Okay. Farid Ahmed, check out Jeet Kune Joaquin Marcelo, a Ted Wong student. I know him, and I'm not impressed. Also, Mike Kittelson, I never heard of him. Probably also not impressed. Who is also Ted Wong student? Tommy Carudas is also Ted Wong student, my teacher. There are many Ted Wong students, and usually they look like Ted Wong. They move like Ted Wong, and they actually move like a 70 years old guy with bad knees. So you shouldn't always copy your teacher. Ted Wong was fairly old when he was teaching these guys, so you shouldn't move like an old guy. Okay. Walter Evans, good refresh of fighting method book there, Thomas. It's surprising how early Bruce got so much right. That's true. Okay, that's really true. And that's the first year he used the term Jeet Kune, the way of the intercepting. And what this book should represent, or what the pictures should represent, actually is the way of this intercepting. Okay, and not modern MMA bullshit sports fighting with 2 pages of rules, where you are forced to train stuff that you only can use in the ring. So, and then you think that's the best because you only see that. Once he grasped the real simplicity in 1967, he hit the ground running with it. That's true. Young, welcome to the Sidekick membership. Thanks for that. This is my student, Q Yang. He's a guy from China. He trains at my school since, I don't know, maybe 5 months or something. Daka, no bullshit for the ring. Lol. Thoughts on Chris Kent? Oh, man. Kali, Silat, Inosanto. Steve Golden. I don't know much about the guy. So you mentioned the hook punch and the elbow being diagonal in your last stream, which I did see in the fighting meta books, like you said. Question: if the opponent bobs and weaves, will the elbow hit him? Probably. Well, I can tell you, if you punch a proper hook, you can't go under that. It comes so fast. Okay. So this bob and weaving boxers use, going under the punches, works mostly in the later stage of the fight, when the opponents are tired and their punches are getting slower. But at the beginning, when the punches are crisp and fast, you can't just go under. Okay, then you can see them more holding the distance, so the guys can't actually punch a fast hook from that distance. But as they get tired, the punches are getting slower, and then you can go under and everything. So in purpose of street fighting, so your street fights shouldn't go 45 like 12 rounds. Okay, so you should be fresh, you should start fresh and end fresh, and the guy is also fresh, so you should watch that. Okay, so Null, hi Null, welcome to the stream. Hey Thomas, let's talk about your my channel's performance. I don't know if this is a subject for Jeet Kune. I mean, my channel is slowly growing. My Instagram channel is growing far faster than the YouTube channel at the moment, because I get so many. I get like the amount of new subscribers I get on YouTube. I get on YouTube in 2 months. I get on Instagram like in 1 day. So, Kuyang, I'm honored. Thank you very much for this compliment. Daka, would you ever try to catch kick that is aimed at the body or face? No. You mean with my hand? No. You can try to cover, but don't catch it. You may break your hand. You can try, like deflect it, but if you can deflect it, you're already moving away. So, I want to do something else, and we're gonna go here. We're gonna go for the editor. So now, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the arguments against Jeet Kune that usually people are using. Oh, I'm so bright. This is the whiteboard of the monitor. It's making me so bright. Well, let's take this off. No change. Okay. However, I may darken the monitor a bit. This is really too bright. So, although it's only like 60%. Okay, going down a little bit less contrast. Oh, now it looks better. Okay. So the usual arguments against JKD online, and then even from so-called JKD people. Okay. So if you guys have any ideas, just write it, okay? So and these are the arguments I read all the time in my comment section about on my videos, okay? Anonymous, I got tipped 30 bucks. Thank you for that very much. Okay, so usual arguments against Jeet Kune. Against Jeet Kune, and this is online. Okay, so here, let's go here, make it clear that this is online, because these I almost never hear these arguments into my face. Hi John, how are you, John? You have to know grappling. That's one. That's one. But I'm gonna put this one here. Okay, you have to know grappling. Okay, that's one. So the thing about grappling is when is grappling the most important? So I don't know how many of you guys know this. Then that in UFC you are not allowed to kick in the opponent's face or even to knee the opponent's face as soon as one knee of the opponent is touching the ground. Excuse me. So when one knee is touching the ground, it means I can't kick the guy anymore to his face, because when his knee is touching the ground, his head is forward while he's trying to grab me, and if I would step back, I will avoid to be grabbed, and now I cannot counter with my front kick or my hook kick to his head or even knee if he's closer, because he's at least one knee is on the ground. So this option of avoiding, you know, using footwork and kicking the guy at the same time is just out of the game, and it doesn't make any sense to train this. So what do you need to replace this? You would need grappling. So the rules of the game makes grappling an option that you cannot avoid. But in street fighting, it's different. So in street fighting, when the guy comes and he wants to grab me, I can avoid this using footwork, kicking and kick him. Or even if he grabs me, I can immediately, because his head is here at my hip, I can attack his eyes, and I can use this type of grappling. So the Bruce's tactics on ground are pinching, grabbing. In sense of grabbing, you can grab here behind the ball, you can grab the eyes, you can grab, okay, biting, and also hitting. You can hit the guy, you can punch the guy also from this. Okay, so these are the tactics in Bruce Lee's true Jeet Kune Do. Okay, so and the three of those, and the two of those you can't do any of those, because you don't grab in sense of, you know, you want to joint lock somebody, you want to grab, pinch, pull, yeah, pull. Okay, yeah, that's true. Pinch, pull. We can use set here. Pull, because you grab when you pull. Okay, so pinch, pull, bite. Where is it? Where is it? Strike. Strike is hitting. Okay, strike. So let's replace this. Okay, so okay. You can't use this. You can't use actually this, and you can pull ears. You can pull nose. You can pull here, grab under. You can grab into the eyes and pull strongly. Okay, so. These are Bruce Lee's tactics on ground, and this is no rule fighting. No rule fighting. Okay. So let's do it like this one. Okay. This is one of the arguments you can hear all the time. Maybe do it smaller. Okay. So what would be the second? You have any ideas? So let's see. You have to know grappling. Hi John. Walter. Hey Walter. So Jeet Kune Do is the prototype of MMA. MMA is better version of Jeet Kune Do. Yeah, I think you probably wanted to say, yeah, that's it. No, we can reconfigure this. Jeet Kune Do, JKD is forerunner of MMA, or Bruce was the daddy of MMA. Slick daddy. Okay. So here's the thing. Why does that's not true? So remember when Bruce said only one of 10,000 can grasp Jeet Kune Do. So that means, excuse me, it means that out of 10,000 people, only one can truly understand Jeet Kune Do. And now tell me how many people actually understand the principles and the working of MMA. MMA is basically combining 2, 3, 4 different martial arts. Everybody understands that. So if this was, if JKD was MMA, then why would Bruce say only one of 10,000 can grasp that? So it doesn't make any sense. So principles of Jeet Kune Do are simplicity. So, okay, let's go here. So principles of JKD. So we have simplicity, directness, and economy of movement or motion, which is efficiency. If I have some typos, don't worry about that. So neither of these three principles are actually principles of nowadays MMA. Okay, so Jeet Kune Do is not a mixture of different martial arts. We have gone through this so many times, and I have done so many videos always reminding people of that. Okay, I don't know if it's written together or not. Okay, so let's go number 3. Number 3 is one of the most common is Bruce would have evolved. Okay, so what they imply is when they say Bruce would have evolved is, well, JKD would have eventually become MMA probably as soon as Bruce had seen Gracie's fighting, then he would do the same shit like Inosanto, which couldn't be further away from the truth. John Paul Daly, these 4 are pinch, pull, bite, strike probably, are far cleaner for escaping fast rather than trying to just go out the grappling technique. Yes, that's true. The stuff on the ground in MMA is rule restricted. Jeet Kune Do isn't, exactly. Bruce Lee, also in UFC they don't allow you to grade and manipulate the fingers on the opponent. That's true. All the all the things that are actually very functional are forbidden for 2 reasons. So one reason is because to protect the fighters from serious injuries, okay, and then to make fights go longer and make them more interesting. Especially at the, you know, in the early UFCs, there was one guy like killed. He died from multiple punches in his back of the head, and this is also so. If somebody you, let's say you punch and somebody tackles you, and you're not allowed to go with the elbow to attack him with the elbow. It's also forbidden. Okay. John Paul Daly, non-classical, yeah. Well, simple, direct, non-classical is you can put this here. Classical, because everything what classical is usually not efficient, and there's no economy of motion in there. Also, some people say sidekick is easy to avoid. Yeah, but sidekick is easy to avoid because most people who do the sidekicks are telegraphing. So there's a certain way how you do sidekick in Jeet Kune Do in order not to telegraph it. Okay, and I bet you, if I stand in front of you and I sidekick you from neutral position, you're not going to see it coming. I have tested this so many times against various different people. Walter, the only people who falsely assume Bruce was the father of MMA are the people who think Jeet Kune Do is concepts Jeet Kune Do. Yes. Inosanto is actually father of MMA, if you ask me. Slap together mesh of cursory trained art, not refined integrated fencing boxing, yes. Walter was that. Q Young. I take here original speech from my ex-coach. He said that JKD is the Wing Chun with karate. And that's a new one. That's a new one. Okay, so Bruce would have evolved. The thing is, what's the evolution of true Jeet Kune? So let's use a quote from Bruce. The quote from Bruce is, contrary to other martial arts, being wise in JKD doesn't mean adding more. It means to minimize. In other words, in other words, to pack away the unessential. Okay, right here. Okay, so this is actually the true evolvement of JKD during Bruce's life. So the interesting thing is that even then he thought that other martial arts are just adding more usually, which is the definition of MMA. Contrary, you could also say here, contrary to MMA. Contrary to MMA, because MMA is adding more. Contrary to MMA, being wise in Jeet Kune doesn't mean adding more, it means to minimize. In other words, to hack away the unessential. So, there are only certain things that work under pressure, you know, in sense of when not having rules. And then you minimize your martial arts solely to these things, and you train them to the extreme, okay? And this is how Jeet Kune works, okay, guys? That's why striking, attacking vulnerable targets, using footwork, and using this kind of tactics in ground game for being able to stand up as quickly as possible. Okay, so this is so okay. So you have to know grappling. Jeet Kune is a forerunner of MMA. Bruce was the father of MMA, and Bruce would have evolved further. Okay, so what's the next one? The next one I hear often, and I heard it actually today, is this one. Now watch. You rely on your technique to work. I'm not sure how do you write rely. Can you type in rely so I can write this like here? Okay, you rely on your technique to work, which means basically, so like finger jabs and side kicks, groin kicks to the groin. So you rely on your techniques, and if they don't work, then you're basically effed. Okay, which they mean you need some kind of backup system if this doesn't work. But let's say you hit with a groin kick and you miss. You don't hit the groin. You hit the okay, rely. Thank you. You hit the upper leg, and now you didn't hit the groin, and now you don't know what to do. But you just continue it with the same principles. You can continue as direct as possible. You continue to the vulnerable targets, to next openings. You continue to move. You continue to fight. You could, if you have to, you evade. It's nothing different. Okay. So it's the same. So we don't rely on the technique to work. We sharpen the technique. Okay, you have to sharpen the technique. Sharpen, okay. Accuracy, okay. Non-telegraphic. Should it be always and, if needed, follow ups. Okay, so Okay, so that's what you need. That's what you. So we don't rely just. I don't know what people think. I do the finger jab, I miss, and then oh, I don't. This guy now grabs me, and I don't know what to do. I go to the eye again. So where's the problem? John Paul, straight lines and curved lines with body mechanics to primary targets. Absolutely. So if you close, you can use a hooks. You can even use a finger jab in form of hook. You can go to the eye. So the finger jab is not a long straight lead type of technique. How many types of moves in Jeet Kune Do? Okay. So you have hooks, you have straights, any kind. You have like the variations of these at any angle. Okay. Same with the kicks, side kicks. You have hook kicks at any angle. Okay, you can kick here. You can kick in this direction. You can kick upwards, sideways. Okay, and any variation of the back fists. Don't forget the back fist is actually a variation of a straight punch. Also, MMA is for sport, moderated in ring points. JKD street defense. Yes, yes. GM, high GM. Yes, that's true. I mean, absolutely. So, okay. Let's see what's the next one we hear often in the internet. Oh, Tao of Jeet Kune Do. Oh my god, yeah. Did you even read the Tao? I have 2 copies of Tao, one in German and one in English, and the one I have since I can see them. I can see them both from here since 97, and I can say it all over again and all over again. It's not put together by Bruce. You can't learn JKD from there. Okay? Okay? So, because there are some philosophical stuff that Bruce actually took from somebody else, and most of the stuff is just you can't learn. There's no tactics, there's no how to move, how to punch, how actually to apply your techniques. Which are your techniques? You have far more better representation of Jeet Kune Do here, so okay, because there you have the actual application examples. Okay, number 6. This is also a classic. JKD is stuck in the 70s. There you go. A classic. Walter Evans, yes, reaction lag time in close distance. Whoever goes first will have advantage. Absolutely. It doesn't matter how fast you are. Only exception is if your opponent is really a slow guy and he really doesn't know what to do. But you know, we always assume our opponents are skillful opponents. So dominant hand forward is a bad idea. That's also, but not so often. This argument you can't actually hear from JKD Concepts guys. Most of the guys who actually do Jeet Kune Do use these arguments. They want to do Jeet Kune Do, but they deny Jeet Kune Do. That's also interesting. MMA is for sport. Bruce Lee. By the way, I saw a Wing Chun channel where the guy said Bruce left Wing Chun because he wasn't patient. Oh yeah, that's also a classic. So let's say a Jeet Kune Do is stuck in the 70s. So because this is like similar to this one, Bruce would have evolved further. You can put actually this one here. Oh, okay, there you go. So what did you say? Oh, you can't learn Jeet. Only Bruce could do JKD. Okay, you know I'm gonna explain you now this argument. This argument is a money-making argument. So imagine you go to a JKD school. So there's a big sign, Jeet Kune, we teach you Jeet Kune, okay? You step in, and maybe you have a little idea what Jeet Kune is because you have the fighting method books, okay? Which actually happened in reality to some people. And then you start to train this, and then you see, oh, okay, they go weak side forward, and they go typical classical boxing, you know, with square stance and anything, and then they go to some Wing Chun techniques through, and then they do Kali Silat, and they maybe also do Muay Thai, and Fridays they do grappling. And then you say, well, how it comes, we don't do any of these movements or any of these techniques from the fighting method books, or you can see Bruce Lee doing. And then the argument is, well, Jeet Kune worked only for Bruce, your Jeet Kune should work for you. And this is a free ticket. You have to understand this. This is a free ticket that gives you the possibility to teach anything, and call it Jeet Kune. Okay? And if this was true, there would be no counter argument against that. Because you can't, if you say anything that works, yeah, that's the next one. Anything, Jeet Kune worked for Bruce Lee, and you have to find your own Jeet Kune. You can teach basically everything, okay? So the next one is anything that works is JKD. Works, okay? So anything that works is Jeet Kune. What does this mean, okay? So that means, so if you use this argument, you shouldn't use it selectively. You should apply to everything. So let's say there's a guy who never did any martial art, and he gets pushed, he gets attacked, and somebody pushes him, and he goes and he swings a wild, typical street fighting swinger from an untrained person, and he lands this swinger on the jaw, and he knocks out the guy, and this worked. So using this definition, anything that works is Jeet Kune. This should be also Jeet Kune. So what does this mean? So I now train to punch like this because this works in some of situations. Okay, it doesn't make any sense. So Jeet Kune is not anything that works, and Bruce never said these words. There's no writing or a quote from Bruce where he says anything that works is Jeet Kune. Okay. Can you see it now better? Okay. Okay. So when you say anything that works is Jeet Kune, you then have to this is also a free ticket for teaching anything and calling it Jeet Kune. Okay. It's actually a very, very good marketing. Okay. Let's move this up here. So okay, anything that works is Jeet Kune. And it do you have another one? Dan Inos Bless said only Bruce could do Jeet Kune. Yes, and all us other mere mortal human beings therefore should do. Yeah, that's exactly. He is actually arguing so he can sell you anything. People are confused because Bruce took a lot of notes from other books. Yes, he did, but he used it actually as research, and he didn't adapt everything also. And also, you know, in a sense of how can you beat different martial artists? Okay, you beat them always using simplicity, directness, and efficiency. Okay, it doesn't matter what. You know, when you say there's also argument, there's a nice argument. So . What do you do if you get... How does it say that? If you get grappled on the ground by a grappler. So, okay. So the argument is what you do if a grappler takes you to the ground. Okay, let's phrase it that way. What you do if a grappler takes you to the ground. Okay, so I'm asking you this question. Let's say it is it's a specialized grappler. He takes you on the ground. Is this the reason you want to learn grappling? This is like saying a specialized boxer boxes you. You want to box this guy? Okay. So there's a quote from Bruce. He said, the best fighter is the one who can adopt. So, like, he kicks too good to a boxer, he throws too good to a karate man, and he punches too good to a judo man. So, you don't use... the adaptation to a style of your opponent is not mimicking him, okay? So through Jeet Kune, it's not mimicking the opponent's style. It's using his weaknesses. If I write this right, mimicking. Mimicking. Is it how it's written? We have here almighty Google. CK. Okay. So it's not mimicking the opponent's size, so you don't want to oh, this is Scottish. Weakness. It's using his weakness. So if a guy wants to grapple you, of course you punch the guy, you go to the eyes, and if you if you have a kicking specialist and you don't want using kicks against these guys, you could actually, but it's using the weaknesses of your opponent. That's mimicking. Yeah, exactly. That's the best fighter in Bruce's opinion. Which you could argue, okay, but I have to train some kicking, I have to train some boxing, I have to train some grappling, and I just use it at different situations. But this is not how Jeet Kune works, because when you learn kicks from other martial arts, these are not the kicks, the same body mechanics Jeet Kune actually uses. Same is with the punches. You just go to a boxing gym, and you think you have Jeet Kune punches, but the footwork is different, okay? Because it's old school boxing and somewhat modified. So where was I? Okay, so John Paul, people are confused because Bruce took a lot of notes from other books. Yes, his book notes were published as his Jeet Kune. Well, you have some of the notes in the Tao, but you have the most of the rest is in John Little books, I think. I don't know if it's everything published, because John Little had access to the material and he copied everything. And he said it was like, in an interview, it was like 40 or 50 pounds of material, and he had to sort it because some stuff was outdated because it was from the Wing Chun time, and the stuff that came later, it was like more accurate. Yeah, what ifs, the what ifs. So let's say 9 what ifs. Okay. So if you show a demonstration with something, let's say finger jab, and then this is like similar to this here, you rely on your technique. So if you miss, what if you miss? What if you miss? What if you miss? Okay, but this is like similar like this here. So you have to sharpen your technique, you have to be accurate, non-telegraphic, and you have to know how to follow up. Okay, you can follow up with attack, evasion, okay, footwork, anything. So it's same like in any other different martial art. Okay, so you have to know how to continue to fight. What if you miss? What if the guy does this or that? So I would have to do a separate video on every what if. Yeah, before, during, after. So let's see. It's 4. Tar was published after Bruce's death by Linda, who didn't see the economic direction. I'm not sure how much Linda actually knew and how much Bruce talked to here about Jeet Kune, because, you know, like my wife, I don't talk to my wife at all about Jeet Kune. She doesn't even know what it is, you know. If I would, let's see, I'm the founder of Jeet Kune and I die tomorrow, this thing is away, because, you know, there's nobody who could teach that if properly. And certainly not my wife. Okay, so I think that Bruce was in the same situation, considering other people and students. The reason he lost actually many students during the time, because he was constantly changing, and this also the reason because Jesse Glover didn't stick with Bruce. You know, you teach. He teaches him Wing Chun and non-classical Kung Fu, and he says this work, and one day he comes, this doesn't work anymore. And then as a student, imagine I go to my students tomorrow and I say, now we're gonna try something different. You know, 90% of them would stop to train because they would lose confidence in my abilities. But Bruce was constantly changing. He was, as he recognized that some bullshit technique doesn't work as intended, he threw it away. Most martial artists, and every martial artist, 99.9% of martial artists never do that. They stick to the technique, doesn't matter how shit it is. And that's how you have all these guys who claim to do Jeet Kune and still training Wing Chun. Okay, and you know, that's how you have also so many students that were students of Bruce, and they teach so much different stuff because they were students in different periods of his martial art journey, to say. Okay. So I think these are the most points we talked about now. So Q Young, there are such a ridiculous phenomenal situation on the Chinese social media. There are two parts of people who try to defame Bruce Lee. One part of them always try to overstate Bruce's skills. Another part of them is to blame Bruce was only. It's not just China. You have this here as well. There are, like in MMA communities, many of them, also professionals, say Bruce was just an actor, and the other one give him actual credit. I think that's inevitable. Walter, yes, you understand other arts do not adopt them, but to pre-attempt them with simplicity. Big difference. Which concepts? It's There's no real adaptation. The concepts adapts by mimicking opponent's style, but that's not adaptation. You know, you walk over the street and there is a car coming. You adapt in a way, you jump to the side in order to avoid getting hit by a car. That's okay, that's true adaptation. And if we would use concepts approach, I see the car, okay, and I'll try to mimic the car. I go on my all fours and I run toward the car, and then I get killed. If that's making sense. John Paul, before, doing, after. So, okay, before, doing, after. So you have actually in Jeet Kune is actually intercepting, okay? So before we talk further, I'm gonna go for a moment and I'm just be back in a second. I'm back. Okay, I need to grab something to eat because I'm starving. Okay, Jeet Kune is actually like it is intercepting, right? It means literally intercepting. But you need to learn how to deal with the attack while it's already happening and after it happened. Well, for example, somebody wants to punch you, and then you see him coming, you see him weight shifting, and then you intercept this movement before he actually starts to punch. Or his punch is already on the way, and you cover and block at the same time and counter. This could be also evading and countering, okay? This is like during, and after would be you evade and counter then. Same is when somebody grabs you. If somebody wants to grab you and he's on the way, you intercept him before he actually starts his hand movement. During is when he grabs you and before or he starts to twist your hand, you counter him then. Or when he already twisted your hand and from this position you counter him, that would be after, okay? And there are some techniques you can't do much about this. Let's say somebody grabs you from behind your neck and does a submission, okay? At one point you can't do anything about that. That's like what you do when the finger jab is in the eye. You do nothing then, okay? You're being hit. So you have to train all three, and it's not just three. It's like everything in between as well, okay? So to train every situation, how to evade, how to block, how to counter, and but the intercepting is the main goal, and this you should spend the most time on it. And wait a second. And there's also another argument which I remembered, which is I forgot. I just forgot. I'm gonna remember it again. This video we really need to take apart. Yes, you should rewatch it. If something is not clear, you just rewatch it. Thomas, there was Walter says, Thomas, there was a Black Reno Academy of martial arts doing a video promoting trapping. They even use clips of your videos at the beginning. Clips of my? You mean my trapping clips where I do trapping and afterwards I explain how does it work and they did this sequence where I actually trapped? No, I had no permission. So usually YouTube detects things like that when somebody takes a clip from you and you reuses this in their clips. But most of the time it's a fair use. Okay, but you can't just, you know, take the whole video and repost it on your channel, because this would be a copyright strike. Okay, when they just use short sequences and they comment over that, there's actually nothing you can do against that. It's a fair use. Okay, like in journalism, I don't mind. So fighting without the fighting, yeah, fighting without the fighting is actually, a guy comes, you sidekick him, the fight is over before it actually started. You didn't fight. You didn't hit. It hit all by itself. John Paul, my wife doesn't know how good I can eye gouge people. No, she doesn't. She doesn't. She even, you know what happened? She even once had some experience with some guy, and she went like, you know, like, I should hit the guy or something. And I told to her, I don't just go around and hit people unless it's a self-defense situation. Even if this guy send you some pictures of his, you know, which he did. And she was so upset, and she said I should actually punch or fight the guy. I said to her, you know what can happen? I can punch the guy and he can hit the deck and he can die. And it was no a self-defense situation and I go into jail. Okay? So sometimes I think, man, people just don't know what they're talking about. Even if it's my own wife. And she doesn't know how much power are behind my blows and my kicks and everything. And I don't want to boast, but I can tell you, when I punch with a hook and you hold the pads, your arm, you can feel it, your arm. So definitely, I wouldn't punch anybody if I really don't need to, because you can so quickly end up in jail. Not even there, not even because of me maybe ending up in jail. I don't want to hurt people just for any reason, you know. I'm not the kind of person, you know. If you don't attack me, we're okay. And if you have problem with some stuff that he's sending you, sue him. Okay, so I can talk to the guy and I can tell him, hey, next time you do this, we go to police. I don't just go there and sidekick the guy. Well, you can't do that, guy. So you guys don't do this, okay? Dhaka. Even some of the LA students went off to study Wing Chun after Bruce passing. Basically, it went backwards. Yes, that's true. I think Santo was taking some lessons from Wing Chun guys. Jerry Poteet as well. So. But if you want to teach something, then you need to take lessons. So if his idea was, imagine in what spot Inosanto was when Bruce died. Inosanto was lucky because he was in the what's the name of the last movie of Bruce Lee where he was in this yellow suit with Karim Abdul-Jabbar? So Inosanto was lucky that he was in this movie. Because he was in this movie, and this movie came out 1978. And I think, if I'm not wrong, Inosanto took off after this movie. Because he was seen in the movie, everybody knew, oh, this is Bruce Lee's student. And now he became celebrity all of a sudden. And now he knew, man, I can make money like shit. And now I can teach all the stuff the Bruce ever did. But I can do proper Wing Chun, so I have to take a Wing Chun lessons. And then I can, Kali still his FMA stuff, okay, is teaching anyway because he does it. But he did teach everything but actual Jeet Kune Do, okay? And this Junfang Kung Fu, they say Junfang Kung Fu is the basic of like your Jeet Kune Do training, and from there you add techniques to Junfang Kung Fu, and then you have Jeet Kune Do. But this is not how Bruce worked. He didn't, you know. This is actually a very, very clever business model, and I believed Inosanto became millionaire for sure. Car charging as adaptation, absolutely, Walter. Imagine that. Imagine that. You mean you adapt in your life to a situation, not by mimicking the stuff, but trying to. I mean, when you go in the boxing match, you have no choice. You're both boxer, so you try to adapt within the style. But in Jeet Kune Do, you have no style. That's why you have no style in Jeet Kune Do. You adapt to the situation with appropriate reaction, and this reaction is not a style. Okay. So, Bruce Lee, nothing works without repetition accuracy. Repetition gives you accuracy when in proper training. Repetition is all. That's the whole secret. There's a difference of, but when you trade the same, you have done it 200,000 times, and there's a guy, he trains the same, he has only done it 20,000 of times. You're gonna see the difference immediately. Even they're doing the same stuff, but you're gonna see the difference immediately. John Paul, martial arts isn't magic when the guy is almost on you. Yes. So I have the video I've uploaded yesterday, so you can watch it. Maybe we're gonna watch it. It's only 4 minutes. You can see intercepting works only with a certain distance, and why you keep the distance anyway. So you want to force the guy. When the guy wants to attack you, he has to close the distance. And you are attacking on the closing the distance or start to close the distance. And not attacking too late, which means you attack when he already started to punch. Okay, or kick. Bruce Lee, what do you do if the opponent has a bazooka? Yeah. You sidekick the rocket. So, Bruce Lee, you get a portable atomic bomb, yeah. No, that was Walter. So, Bruce Lee, there are old videos where Tommy was still using trapping. So, the funny thing is about this, this is one of the arguments. Tommy uses trapping as well. Tommy used to use trapping. Same like Bruce, okay? He went away from that. But the videos you see Tommy use trapping are not because he was teaching trapping there. He was teaching there actually Jeet Kune Do. It was a seminar in Germany around 2003. And the guy with the glasses who was holding the pads, his name is Andreas. I know him in person because I invited him once at Tommy's seminar here in my city, and he did invite Tommy, and And he was only showing trapping because people asked him to do this. Tommy was talking probably about how Bruce used to trap and how he moved away from this, and then people asked him, can you show us actual trapping techniques? And then he did. Okay, that's how these recordings came about. Bruce Lee. By the way, I never saw Bruce talking about training with resistant bands. Is it something Tommy came with? No, that's actually Bruce. I think that comes from Ted Wong. They didn't use resistant bands back then. They used inner tubes from bicycle tires. So they used this for resistance training. Bruce used that, actually. I don't know how much, but he did. Black Rhino were trying to suggest that original Jeet Kune was just another fixed pattern. Yeah, it's not. It's not. That's what only 1 of 10,000 people can grasp Jeet Kune. And when you talk about original Jeet Kune and how much people misunderstand that, then you have to say Bruce was right. It's not maybe 1 of 10,000. It's maybe 1 of 1,000, but the number is really small. When you watch how many people misunderstand Jeet Kune and how many people actually understand it. Yes, Game of Death. That was the movie where Daniel Santo was in, and this was pure luck for him. You have to imagine that when Bruce Lee hadn't died, he would stay alive, and he would do some movies. I have even heard that he wanted actually to go more behind the camera as a director, more walking instead of no like in front of the camera. If Bruce would have stayed alive, you would never know all these names like Jerry Poteet, Danilo Santo, or any of these guys who did teach Jeet Kune Do, because most of the guys are just known because they knew Bruce. Okay, let's be honest. If he didn't die, you wouldn't know. You would not know the name, the single name of one of those guys, because it would be all Bruce Lee. Okay. Maybe sometimes later when he would start up, when he gets older and starts up to build instructor, and then he sees some talent guy like Tommy Caruthers was, and Tommy would probably be a top instructor directly under Bruce. I'm sure. Bruce Lee training more stuff. You have to spend most time on different things. Absolutely. The coach gets more money. So the coach provides you every training a new technique, so you stay fresh, interested. But when I tell to my student, okay, now we're gonna do 1,000 punches in straight lead, you know, they go like, oh, they watch how long it's gonna take until the class is over. That's how it is. John Paul, TC doesn't use classical trapping. Yes, he traps people in distance or on his front leg. In levels or in sectors, not touch trapping. Yeah, that's a different... you trap them in the movement. So you trap them in their weight shift so they can't go away, and then you punch them. You attack them. Tommy moved light years away from trapping. Absolutely. I have to argue with guys... Back in the days, like in 2012, 11, in the German forums, they also claimed, look, you are talking shit because Tommy is clearly doing trapping in the videos, and I'm a student of Tommy, and I said, no, he does. It's wrong context. Nobody believes me. Which one of Bruce Lee's movie weapons is your favorite? How do you mean movie weapons? I know everybody loves the nunchakus. The darts he used against the guns. You know, the small darts? He used in the Way of the Dragon. And in the Enter the Dragon, he was also making some, I think, where he... they used them against the apple, or I'm not sure. Was he making some in Enter the Dragon in one scene? I'm not sure. That's my favorite weapon. I did Kuyang. I did 500 punches today. Oh, that's nice. Another argument. Boxers use trapping also. I did an extra video on this. I did a video how boxing when you boxer sometimes push the cover of the opponent away because they have to, because you're all the time like this and you have this thick gloves and the opponent has this thick gloves as well and you can't punch through, and sometimes you have to push the cover away and then punch. But this is nothing like this with giant trapping, man. How can people argue like this? Nate Buchanan, hi from Junfang Kung Fu Academy in Seattle. Is this the original academy from Bruce Lee? I mean, I know he closed it, but who is teaching there, Nate? Can you tell me who is teaching there? Thomas is seeing Tommy in the present. These idiots are looking at the videos decades ago. That's true. The same problem with Bruce Lee. Same problem with Bruce Lee. Let's watch the video. Wait a second. Oh, this one. So, you have to switch. Okay, that's the video from tomorrow. Okay, so Jeet Kune means literally the way of intercepting, the way of the intercepting foot or the way of the intercepting hand. In order to make it work, you have to be as direct and you have to go as simple as possible to your target. Of course, your technique has to be sharp. What's important for intercepting? So, like anything, if you want to make something to work, you have to train this, okay? And this is no exception to any martial art. So most people compare professional MMA fighters with amateur JKD people who train twice a month or maybe twice a week. There's no comparison. No style can help you so much if you train so little, okay? You have always to compare two guys that train similar time and that also have kind of similar talent. That's also important. The most important thing for intercepting is to watch when the opponent starts to move. Contrary to other martial arts, most martial arts react too late to the techniques. So they try to block, or they try to manipulate the techniques instead of going targets and waiting for the movement. What you should watch for is the moment the opponent moves. So, and if you watch, when we do this slow, you can see. So the funny thing is, when somebody attacks you from a neutral position, so I'm not talking about stances, because in street fight, most of the time you're going to be attacked from a guy who's standing normal, okay? Before they step forward, they shift their weight actually backwards. One exception is if they actually, you can do it without shifting your weight backwards if you know how to do the footwork. But most of the people don't know how to do that. So if the situation's like tense, and you know this guy is probably about to attack me, also you look at the face, and sometimes they clinch their fist before they attack, so you can attack into these moments as well. But before they go forward, the shift actually, they go to their rear leg in order to make the front leg free for the step. Okay. Nate, Sifu Abe Santos, Sifu Mike Hillo, longtime students of Taki. Okay. So Taki did actually continue Seattle. He stayed in Seattle. Okay, that's not. I would like to go sometime to Seattle actually. Yeah, that's nice. So guys, we have an original Seattle school people here. Okay, So that's how important my channel is. You know? I'm just kidding. But at least it's early period, but doesn't matter. We all connect to Bruce. Okay, so let's watch this. Before he actually punches, he shifts his weight backwards in order to make his front leg free for the step, and he punches then. And this looks like this and here. And that's what you should look for. So the most people, they are looking for hands. You should look for body weight. So when you see I'm like this, and when I shift my weight, look at my shoulders. Okay. So they start to change the angle, and you watch this, and when you see someone's, I mean the situation has to be tense, okay, and you see his weight is shifting, you can immediately attack to that. You should look for any kind of weight shift instead of going here. You know, like trying to block, you can, I mean, with the gloves, there's no way you can do this clean. But instead of trying to catch the hand, or block, or cover, you know, sometimes you have to do this as well, but going here, and then punch, to here, okay, you should go here. So the moment he shifts his weight, you go here and you're attacking. Or even here, boom, you go for the kick. Oh man, I can tell you guys, when somebody punches you and you go for the side kick to the knee, this works every time, every time. Even if he knows what I'm going to do, you know, like I tell him, punch me, and then, you know, step and punch me. And he can't avoid this. As soon as he punches, this thing comes. But you know, your opponent in the street, they don't know nothing about you. They don't know how you punch, they don't know how you kick, and then don't know anything. So you can catch them every time with this. So you should train to look for this moment. So when he waits his shift, to show you a few examples. When he waits his shift, I wanted to say, when he shifts his weight. Okay, here you have some examples. Can use a side kick, lead punch. So that's why you stand with the strong side forward. Your strong side can do the job the best. So you see, I keep the distance, so he has to make the step. Here. The front kicks, when somebody's stepping in, can be sometimes hard to do because you don't always see the groin as a target as clean as a knee, because yeah, maybe it's darker, maybe the color of the pants. So okay, so be reminded of this. I would prefer actually a side kick to the leg. Go here, tries to kick, doesn't matter. You can go outside. And the same you can do from the on guard. Yeah, so everything you do from the neutral position, you should be actually able to do from the on guard first, and then look to the neutral position, because from the neutral is far harder to do. The on guard is designed for you to be able to do this more easier, but neutral position has no support, so you have to know how to go from the neutral to the movement, which is far harder and it requires far more training. This is a classic. So it doesn't really matter what he's going to do, what his plan. He tries to kick you. He tries to kick you with his rear leg. And you go here to the front, to his supporting leg. And you kick through. They're very painful. But to train this like showed here, you have to have really good distance control and control of your technique in order not to injure him. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm doing here a corkscrew lead punch because his shoulder was in the way, and that's a good way you can punch then. So it's not always like this. Okay, sometimes you can go, you know, over the shoulder and punch like this. Let's do it again. Boom. Okay.
So it doesn't really matter
I wasn't even thinking about that. You know, I saw this and I did this.
what he's going to do, what his plan is to do. His initial move is always the same, is always the weight shift and then stepping in order to close the distance. So when you keep the distance, he's too far away. In order to, you see, he can't reach you. He has to make the step in order to kick you, and he has to make the step in order to punch you.
There you go.
If you're too close, like in most martial arts, you go here and you go here. So from here, you can't even react. Because if I had a knife in my hand, you're stabbed. If you're so close, I'm gonna punch him. You should use your fencing footwork, Jeet Kune, and control your distance. So now when he comes close, you can control your distance.
So the thing is, when you control the distance, at the moment he comes close, you can hold the distance, or you can attack into his movement.
And then, at one moment, you let him to come close, and he thinks, oh, now I can attack. But you know that, and you let him come close, and then you intercept him. Even in a 2v2 fair fight, you can use Jeet Kune and Jeet Kune tactics fairly good. You use your footwork to control the distance, so because your footwork is designed to control distance. When you stand like this, you can control distance very well.
So when you stand square like this, you can better move to the side, but you can't move towards and away from the opponent. So the fencing footwork is designed, okay, to move quick, to have better mobility towards and away your opponent. Therefore, you can control the distance between you and yourself far better.
And now I can control the moment to let him come closer, and then I know he's going to attack. And when he has to step, you can kick, you can punch, and you can side kick if you want. Another way, if he wants to close to me, it's no problem for me. And then he wants to close again, and then I can intercept again. Get good.
Some guys, one guy told me today in one of my videos, you're standing too far away in order for the guy to punch you. This is the trick we do. So you are outside of the reach, and you are outside of the reach only for one step. Okay, so in order to him to reach you, he has to do the step. That's the trick. Okay, if you are too close to the opponent, you should have already attacked. Okay, so we are standing too far away from the opponent, but we train to attack with the step. Okay, so that's why we have the advantage there usually.
At moving, get good at seeing, and get good at intercepting. And you should control the distance. That's why you have in Jeet Kune the superior footwork and the fencing type of footwork, which you can use for that. See you next time.
So, okay. Oh. Let's make it small. So there you go. Okay, so distance control comes together with intercepting. Okay, so that's very, very important. Karl Starke, hi Karl, how are you, man? So hi Thomas, can you elaborate on the biomechanics or from the back fist? I was practicing and my hand was blue after maybe it was blue? A day after maybe is normal. Okay. But for the back fist, you strike with the back. No, you strike also with the knuckles. Okay, so this is what you strike with. Okay, so with the lead hand, you strike with this side of the knuckles. With the back fist, you strike with this side of the knuckles. But you don't punch with this here. Okay, punch with this here. So you go also here. Okay, body mechanics. I can. It's hard to show you, you know, from the chair, but it's similar, like a straight lead. You just don't go like this, you go like here, Okay, go here and then go back. And the hips comes at the last moment as well, just like with the straight lead. Carl, MMA Fight Bible were claiming that back fist was uselessly weak punch. I replied, not if you train. Yes. You can knock, Tommy did knock out people with a back fist. You have to know where to hit and how to use the body mechanics. Most people back fist is weak because it's, there are two types of back fists, like the JKD back fist and like a non-classical kung fu back fist. And now the guys from the Seattle, I don't know if they do the back fist like this, so where you turn your body much like when doing the hook. Okay, this is very powerful back fist as well, but it's more a close range back fist. Q Young, Thomas become as famous a Jeet Kune influencer? Yeah, not yet. I mean, you know, it's still Jeet Kune itself is a small niche. Okay, if we could make a JKD popular with this channel, but you know what I have learned is because my Instagram channel is growing so fast in the last 10 days, how much more people come and post stupid stuff in the comment section. I'm just gonna check how many subscribers I have. So since I checked the last time Instagram, I have 66 new subscribers and 5 more comments, and most of these comments are going to be negative because only people with negative mind comment. And I have 8,200 subscribers now. I'm gonna check this later, and most of the time I just block these people. Q Young question. Walter, Q Young is a student of mine, just so you know. Bruce Lee, do you put your weight on both legs equally when on guard? So when you don't move, actually you're never standing still. You're never like here and waiting. Before you want to attack, your weight should be slightly forward. Okay. When you're idling, you shift your weight constantly between your two legs when you're doing the steps, even if you don't do the steps, so you stay slightly in the movement. Okay. And you keep the engine running. So the weight shifts slightly between the two legs. The New York Martial Art Academy calls a curved step with horizontal fist a corkscrew punch. No, curved step with horizontal fist. The corkscrew is this here. So this is not no corkscrew. That's why, because you turn, that's the corkscrew. Well, like a corkscrew, okay? It's also like a turning in. So give us more light. When I discovered your channel, I stopped watching there. I have still some people. So just so you know, guys, I have disabled the function. So when you comment my videos, you can't post a link. Okay, an external link of a other YouTube video or of a web page or anything. For one reason, because there are those spamming bots. They are posting links all the time, so they don't appear, and I don't want the people to post to advertise their channels on my channel. So that's why I disabled this as well. And also for a reason, because there's some people there sending all the time links. Can you comment on this? Can you comment on that? And this and that. And so many of some of you guys are still watching other channels and try to, when somebody else on other channels claims something, they want me to comment on that. So if I would do this, I would do this all day, probably. So, sorry. Distance too far away is a strategy, not a mistake. Yes. Roland Diaz, how are you, Roland? You need a TikTok also to promote i4. I have a TikTok channel, but it doesn't grow as fast as it used to grow faster. But like Instagram is exploding right now. because a few of my clips on Instagram just went viral. I have one of my Instagram clips has over 200,000 clicks. Two other have over 100,000, and there are done 3 or 4 others. They are like between 50,000 and 100,000. Bruce Lee, the back fist is used way too rarely for how good it actually is. The back fist is probably one of the techniques that is most flexible. You can use it different distances and different angles as a punch. Okay. And from a neutral position where your hand is just like hanging down, back fist is very good solution. Very natural. Feels very natural. Back fist finger jab is also my favorite motion. Yeah, you can do the finger jab also in this motion. Yeah. Diaz, what did Tommy contribute to modernize JKD? It was, what did Tommy contribute to modernize JKD? I can tell you what made him to modernize. I guess he wasn't stupid in this regards. So Jesse Glover told him a long time ago that late Bruce Lee, Jesse stopped training with Bruce Lee, and he asked Bruce if he could teach what he's learned, and Bruce said, yes, you can, but don't use my martial art for this name for your stuff. So that's why Jesse didn't use non-classical Jungfang Kung Fu, but non-classical Kung Fu for his school or for his style. And they separated. So Bruce went to Oakland, then to LA, and Jesse's basically stuck to, I don't know where he was from, Seattle. And but sometimes in the late 60s or something, they met on a birthday party, and Bruce took Jesse in the basement, and they were talking, and Bruce, the whole night they stayed there, and Bruce showed him what he was doing at that time, what he was training. Okay. And Jesse said to Tommy he was basically fencing with his hands and with his feet. Okay. And and Tommy was showing actually also what he was training at the time, and Jesse told to him, that's almost exactly what Bruce showed me at that evening. And he said to him, Bruce went beyond technique. He was fencing with his hands, with his feet, and he said also to Tommy, forget about all these people who are teaching Bruce Lee's stuff. You are way beyond them. And that's, I think Tommy and Bruce are pretty much similar when it comes to analytical thinking of martial arts. Q Young, there are many young users on Instagram. There's still much potential. It's maybe true. Well, like I said, many of my videos went viral there, which on YouTube it's almost impossible. I grow on YouTube like 400 subscribers every 2 months. I get this on Instagram. I get this on a day. So every day I get 400 to 500 subscribers on Instagram at this moment, at least. At some point this is also going to stop, unless some other videos of mine go viral as well. Did you see Michael J. White video on how to not to telegraph? Was that a video where he is punching slow? If that's the video, I think that was it. But that's not actually how you not telegraph. Daka, I linked a scoop kick clip, one of your videos. Did you see it? Scoop kick was a front kick. Yeah, I think that was the guy from Wednesday Night Group. I think I seen that. That's not what I meant to. That's it's like a weirdly snapped front kick with a straight hip. That's not how I would teach you that. Walter Evans, he's a student. Ah, okay, I might have been made a mistake on Tommy's page with you in 2015. What mistake? I didn't realize who you were on TC page when you pretended to be concepts as... Yeah. Yeah. We do jokes all the time. Ironic jokes. Roland Diaz, what do you focus on teaching a beginner in the first month of Jeet Kune? So because I have no separate classes. I don't have like beginner class and senior class because we are too small. Okay. So, but if I had separate classes, I would concentrate on them on the structure, to learn the structure of Jeet Kune, to learn the movement, to learn the stance, moving through the stance, and body mechanics, straight lead, front kick, and side kick. These three things should be to learn the most, and later on, then introducing evading hooks and finger jabs and anything else. Okay. Sorry, you answered the link thing. I don't know what you mean there. When should you feint? You can feint when you're too far away to bridge the gap. If you want to kick, you can feint with a hand before, or vice versa. Or when the opponent is very good at blocking, then you can feint a block and attack an opening. But in street fight is like usually. Roland, if you met Paul Wunak, Rombaliki or Inosanto instead of Tommy, do you think you would have learned? No. I've told the story in previous streams that I went once to a Jeet Kune concept school. Before I went to that school, I already had this book, and I trained only from this book by myself with a friend of mine. And then I heard there was a guy in my city like teaching Jeet Kune, and I went there, okay, and they were basically doing Jeet Kune concepts, which I didn't know at the time. I didn't know that something like JKD concepts existed, and that there was like a discrepancy between original Jeet Kune and other stuff. But I was only once there, and I saw that they weren't doing the stuff from this book, and I never went back. And he had a webpage advertising also with Inosanto's face on it. So I didn't start with this because I felt, what is this? It's no Jeet Kune. I could see this by myself. And if you just use your brains, you can see that. You get yourself this book, 400 pages, endless pictures of Bruce about Jeet Kune, and read through. And then compare it to the stuff they are training. So, Bruce Lee, do you condition your shins? No. Well, I don't condition my shins. We kick with shoes. Okay. Walter Evans, Jesse established the connection between the original analyzer Bruce and the modern analyzer Tommy. Jesse was actually friend with both of them. So he knew them both pretty well. Roland Diaz, IFO Jeet Kune would be popular if talk if talked Afghan Bruce Lee the true art. No, I don't think so. Daka, in the flip kick, what part of the foot make contact with target? So usually, let's say this leg. Okay, this part. So this part here. Okay. Because you turn. Okay. Roland Diaz, do you recommend skipping rope? Actually, yes, I did that a lot back in the day, but I stopped doing this. I can do this pretty well. Do you consider guys learning from Bruce Lee fighting method book more true Jeet Kune students than... Yes. Actually, I consider that. Because Jeet Kune concepts, it's not Jeet Kune. There's not even Jeet Kune concepts in it. There's no strong side forward concept. There's no... this concept doesn't exist in Jeet Kune concepts. There's no concept of simplicity there. These are all Jeet Kune concepts, true Jeet Kune concepts: simplicity, directness, strong side forwards, economy of motion, non-classical. There's no, these concepts exist, do not exist in Jeet Kune concepts. Also, intercepting. I don't see any intercepting there. There's also, Jeet Kune literally means intercepting. Okay, guys. So I would consider people who train by themselves using fighting method books more true to Jeet Kune than any of Jeet Kune concepts guys who trains with actual teacher. Okay, I was one of them for 10 years. Yeah, and when Tommy met me first time, and he said me, I was in the seminar. But prior the year he met me, I also trained by his online lessons, also with a friend of mine. I train a lot. I always train a lot, guys. That's why I'm here where I am now, because I train always my ass off. I train 5-6 times a week. I only stopped training that much when I had problems, when I had my back injury. So I'm still, you know, going back there, but I always train a lot. And before I met Tommy, he told me that years after, before he met me, then he couldn't believe that somebody could come as far as I came without a trainer. So it is possible to a certain degree, okay? And his online lessons helped me a lot to sort out all the bullshit, because I was also doing trapping and stuff, okay? I had also, at the later stage, I had also some, you know, books from Larry Hartzell and stuff, and I did also some Hubbard and Chisao as well. I started with the fighting method books, and over the years I started also to mix things in instead of staying clean. And then I met Tommy, and he pushed me right back on the way I was actually earlier. So that's how I would always consider people who just train by these books better and truer to Jeet Kune than any Jeet Kune concept school. And that's a testimony to this book. Similar story like mine, Ku Yang. Just so many fake Jeet Kune instructor doing this for marketing. Absolutely. Bruce Lee, how much time do you spend training your left punch and kick? What you mean, my left straight, my back straight? Most of the time I'm training my front hand, back fists, straight lead, back fist, hook variations. Okay, depends on the day. More this, more this. My leg techniques, I do 50-50, 50 right, 50 left. That's also because of muscular reasons. So I don't want to have big disbalance in my muscles, which can cause back pain. Okay, so I kick with both legs 50-50, and I train my left. Depends when I want to make something much better about my left, then I train it a lot, sometimes less, but usually like 70-60% right hand, 40-30% my left hand. Walter is okay. Roland, yes. How many levels you must pass to become a full instructor? Okay, let me show you this. If I can find that, I should actually find this on my external hard disk. Give me here the mic. So where are we? I think here. Ah, there is it. I have another one, a better one, better picture. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so watch this. Okay, so this is the rank system of the IFO. So you are not you're not forced to do any ranking. Okay, You are not forced to pay for any ranks. It doesn't matter if you do some ranking tests or you do not some ranking tests. You are trained the same. The ranks are not requirement for your training. So we teach you. If you want to get tested, it's up to you. If don't, you train the same way. If you do or if you don't, okay. So basic one is the white patch. So you get this. This is your like first basic training, okay, the basic test. And there's also not fixed testing pattern, okay. So here I can ask you to show me how to move, how to stand, how to move, basic footwork, basic punches, kicks. And then here I can ask you to do some other things. So we don't have a fixed testing protocol, okay. So I could get in touch with Tommy to do this, but we never did that. So it's basically up to me to give you this. And basic 1, basic 2, 3, and then it's intermediate 1, intermediate 2, and I can rank you, if you're in my class, I can rank you from here to here. And this group leader rank, intermediate 3, with this rank you can be a group leader. You can start your own group teaching where you live. And this, Tommy does this test. Oh, here you have to know basically everything, okay, on Jeet Kune. You have to be able to explain everything. You have to be able to perform everything. It's like, this is basically your instructor certificate. And this is the only time you pay for this by Tommy, okay? I think this costs around £300 or something. So you have to know everything. So you have to have trained everything by yourself when you're in other country. So when you're in other country, you don't have to go through all these ranks. You have to sit the test. Usually it looks like this. You go, you take Tommy's online lessons, the first series, and if you are able to explain stuff from these lessons, then you get a group leader patch. And now you are allowed to teach a small group. And over the years, you can get these ones: apprentice instructor, intermediate instructor, and senior full instructor. And you get these by earning them. So you don't pay for these. You don't sit a test by these. So Tommy sees how you develop yourself. And based on that, he can give you this or not. That's on you. So I did this in 2009. I did a test. This test took me about 2 or 3 hours. I did fucking everything. Defending, explaining, defending, attacking against multiple opponents, against one opponent, everything I did. And it took really, I flew extra for this to Glasgow and it took me like 2.5 hours or 3 hours even to do that. And then over the years, I never got this one. I got this one and then I got this one like 10 years later. I got this one 2018, 3 years ago. I became full instructor. So like 10 years after I met Tommy, I got my full instructor, okay? So it's not something you do overnight, okay? So be reminded, it's like getting a black belt in karate. You walk into a karate school and it takes you at least 5 to 6 years to take to get one first dan black belt. And this is like first dan black belt, this is like second dan, and this is like third dan black belt, and this is the highest rank. You can't go higher than this. And in karate you would have only like, you know, honor dan belts, okay? So that's it. That's I'm gonna let this up for a while so you can all see that. That was for Roland Diaz. He asked about ranking system. Yeah, how many levels to pass? Well, like I said, if you're overseas or if you're not from Glasgow, if you're not learning at TC's class, so you have to do the first online lesson series, and you have to sit a test, and then you get a group leader test. And that's gonna be much easier than the one I did, I think. Because I have seen other group leader tests that were nothing like I was doing. I was really doing this 2.5 hours or something. And so you have to explain Jeet Kune. So because you're with group leader intermediate 3, you're just allowed to teach a small group of people. And you start, and as you develop as a Jeet Kune man, as a teacher, you earn yourself these ranks. And these ranks cost nothing. But when you're in Tommy's school, in order to get this, you have to go through all of these, I think. I could be wrong, but it would be logical to me. So if you train at my school, I can rank you through the red, all through the red. And from here to here, it's Tommy's responsibility, okay? To rank the guys from my school as well. Okay, so Bruce Lee, you have to admit Wing Chun looks cool in movies. Of course. I mean, looks cool. Looking cool doesn't mean functional. Okay? So, cool looking cars are not always functional. They can't even drive in normal ways because they're so flat. And you can put anything in the trunk, so it's not always functional. Daka, I mentioned earlier Bruce Lee movie weapons. The darts is my second favorite weapon, yeah. Bamboo, yeah, it's nice. Bamboo is fast and flexible, as Bruce said. I heard Bruce liked the bamboo whip so much that he was writing a script around it, yes. So, and now because this is in a movie, this is also Jeet Kune, because some people argue also, because you see grappling in Enter the Dragon, this is a part of Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune. As such, sport grappling. Thomas, did you ever met Kane in Glasgow? Yes. I met him a few times when I was in Glasgow. He's qualified now. Yes, he is a full instructor. He's brilliant. I watched his evolution on Tommy's Pay. I mean, you don't see so much on videos. And often you see guys in videos when Tommy is recording and they are already tired. Like at the end of the training, you see they're full of sweat and they're already, you know, pretty effed. And then they look on the videos not so fresh anymore. Roland Diaz, thoughts on Jerry Poteet's student Jason Scott Lee's kills in the movie Dragon? There's a funny story about the Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. Because as Jason Scott Lee trainer, Ted Wong was planned. Okay? But then suddenly he was cancelled. Tommy thinks that someone from the movie business has had connections to Jerry Poteet, so he got the role to teach Jason Scott Lee. But initially, Ted Wong was planned for this role to teach Jason Scott Lee, to prepare him for the movie. And I think if he had done that, the representation of Jeet Kune in the movie would have been far better. Okay, instead of all this trapping stuff. But also, I mean, we have to remember that the Bruce Lee's, the Dragon the Bruce Lee story is like, you can see all the way through earlier stuff and then to the later stuff. And the Jeet Kune should have progressed in the movie as well, which you can't see really. But Ted Wong would have been better person, I think, to be able to bring this into the movie. So Bruce Lee, I meant to ask, how often did you train? Do you train right lead hand on stance compared to left lead on? No, I never train my left straight lead because it's a waste of time. To my opponent, I'm going to stand always my right side forward. And if somebody comes from the left, I'm gonna use the left back fist. And that's why I don't use left lead I used to train this while some time, but I stopped training because I saw it's a waste of time. In practical sense, I would never use it in a self-defense situation. So that's why I with my left train a lot of back fists because that's the most common punch you would use against multiple opponents. A left back fist when they come from left or even from left behind, okay, like from 7 or 8 o'clock, okay. The green bamboo whips more like a fancy weapon. Yeah, that's probably the reason Bruce used it, because he used it a lot like a fencer. Roland, if Tommy was a Jeet Kune movie and being true to the art, you just have all these stuntmen falling over second. Yeah. There are some film sequences in some movies where you could actually see a short. There's a movie where Jason Statham uses a sidekick to the leg and he breaks a knee. Then there's this. There's also this Punisher short movie with the first Punisher actor. He did this Punisher short movie. It's like 10 minutes. You can see the same technique there. He kicks on the knee, and you see the bones coming out with special effects and everything. It looks really great. And some other movies you can see some examples of good Jeet Kune as well, actually, which was probably not intended. Is it true that Bruce had metal plates in his shoes to front kick the shin? Yeah, that's true. He actually, let me see. 1 second. This is a boxing shoe, okay, but in sake of comparison, so the James Lee did put, I think, aluminium plates here inside, okay, so around the edge you could see actually the metal plate, okay, and it was like so much in. So when you remove the sole and you put the metal plate on the sole and you bring the sole back, I think it was done like this. And because Bruce was he was challenged all the time by Wing Chun guys, and he was so tired of them, and he said he wanted to James Lee to put metal plates into his shoe sole, so when the guys comes like this, and he just kicks them in the shin and breaks their shins, and so it's fast over. That was the background of the whole story as I heard it. Ted Wong teaching Jason Scott Lee would have been great. I had never heard that. Yes, Tommy told me the story, that Ted Wong told him the story, that he was actually planned for the movie. But he lost then. He was cancelled because probably somebody from the industry knew Jerry Poteet, and you know, when you have connections, you have connections. Ted Wong had no connections. He was working at the NASA. What Evans, Jeet Kune concepts like a chopper bicycles in the 70s. They look really cool with the loony handlebars, but like concepts, they always crash. Yeah. Mardicius Moore, Thomas Marx versus Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee opinions on Tarantino's representation of Bruce Lee. I've done video on that. Okay, you can watch it. I'm gonna show it just so you see that. Just so you know the thumbnail. So here, watch that. Here. No, it's not here, right? Here is it. You see here? Jeet Kune instructor commenting on here. Jeet Kune instructor commenting on Bruce Lee scene from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Okay, so I did their reaction clip. This clip has like 1,100 clicks, not so many. So you can boost it now, okay? And don't forget to like it. Yeah. So, okay. What do we have now? Walter Evans. Tarantino has as much understanding of real Jeet Kune as Mother Teresa about boxing. Plus, he likes to rewrite history for sensational effects. So yeah, I mean, no problem, Bruce Lee. You're welcome. So I mean, it's all entertaining, but what I think about like this Quentin Tarantino movie is that you know, the Bruce Lee, the way he was portrayed in this film was not the Bruce Lee the actor. It was Bruce Lee, one of his roles that he actually played. It's like you do a movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger comes as Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he is actually there a Terminator, you know. Yeah. Tarantino said in the interview that he prefers the Bruce Lee fake movies. I mean, it's his. I never heard that, him saying that. I mean, it's his choice. Why not? Okay. So, what I wanted to do next? I'm gonna show you some pictures here. So here you can watch. These are some pictures from Belgium seminar from 2009. So I was there, Tommy seminar in Belgium 2009. It's like what, 13 years ago. So there are some pictures. This is actually Tommy's school. All these guys you see here, I don't know if I'm even allowed to show them. Stop training. Okay. But that's not what I wanted to see. Why is this? Ah, these pictures are mixed somehow. These pictures are mixed somehow. Look at this one. You see? This Ted Wong Tommy and this guy, he's from I think he stopped boxing. Tommy is like 13, he's 50 years old on this picture. And look at this one. That's me. And I forgot to put my hand around Tommy. This picture looks so bad because I just put my hand around Ted and not around Tommy. And then I did a picture with Tommy later, just with Tommy. Here's Ted Wong and other guy here and me myself. This is I'm 28 years old here or something. And where's there's a picture of me and Tommy. So I went down so this it doesn't look so old from the hate. Okay. Here's a Ted Wong from the seminar explaining stuff. Okay. It was pretty short before he died. Here showing some hook kicks at Tommy's old basement school. Okay, this school doesn't exist anymore. So what do we have still here? I did these photos with my like Nokia back in 2009, and yeah, these are pretty good photos still. If you, this is, he used to train. This guy is in online Tommy's online lessons. Paul, he stopped training as well. He stopped training as well. He was very talented. He as well. Most people just stop training. Most people just stop training for some reason. You know, first girlfriend or family or kids, and then or work or anything. And they just that's here's Ted Wong signing some stuff. Yeah, that was a 5-day camp from Monday to Friday, and Ted Wong did a 2-day seminar back to back to this, to Tommy's my camp. Okay, so what do we have? What do we have here? Here I've done some pictures with a student of mine for when I wanted to do a self-defense group for women, and I did some pictures her using finger jab. You can't believe how talented she is. She kicks really good, she punches really good. The only thing she lacks is body weight because she's so small, but she has better mechanics than most men I know. And this guy as well, he is Olympic grappler. He's one of the guys who are natural. So here you can see here, eye jab, self-defense, here, and then from behind biting. Okay, you would bite. I did these pictures a while back, and now I want to see. This is the that's the Belgium seminar. So you can see here, that's me. You see the guy here, the largest guy always. That's me. That's 2009. Here's Tommy. Okay. He's teaching there. Here we are doing some demonstrations. He's holding me pads here. I'm punching, and here's me as well. You know, my size is always I'm big. I'm large. There's some this guy is now teaching under Tommy as well. He started a group under IFO, and then he skipped out, and then he went back since 2 or 3 years or something. He's under Tommy as well again. Here, Didier from Belgium. Okay, that's it. So so I've seen some pictures. So I usually never post these pictures on my webpage, or like, look, I have a picture with Ted Wong, and like all these guys, they see Ted Wong one in the life, they make 1,000 pictures, and then they post all over the place as advertising. And most pictures I never posted anywhere. I have some 1 or 2 on my webpage, so but that's it. Kung Fu. Hey, hi Per, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Wait a second. There was some true in what Tarantino said about Bruce Lee being a bit too rough towards the Hollywood stuntman. However, Bruce and Juan Williams' stunt double Benny Dobbins had really good friendship. That's possible. I'm not sure, but you know, when Bruce, you can see in Bruce Lee's movies when he kicks and punches that he connects his techniques, so it looks as realistic as it's possible. But the stuntmen in Hollywood are totally different than the stuntmen in the US, and that's also that's what Jackie Chan said once in the interview, because they're really punched and kicked, but in Hollywood you just, oh no, don't touch me, which is okay, I mean, you don't want to hurt people. Q Young, I remember that Shannon Lee seems to have taken this to court. For example, this movie was not released in China. I never heard that. Okay. I'm gonna Google about that. And she won that? Okay, nice. Daka, I think he like Bruce Lee with E, yeah. Yes, that's possible. Daka, that would be explain the sources from where he get all his misinformation, yeah. I mean, I like Quentin Tarantino movies, to tell you the truth. Even the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is actually a good movie, because I know the story around Shannon Tate being killed by these idiots. Who was the guy? Charles Manson, and I know the story behind that and everything. It was funny to watch it, how he actually did the movie. Bruce Lee didn't like Kali or Thai boxing. Yes, absolutely true. And you can there's one book I read that that he said about Muay Thai that it has no broken rhythm, it's predictable. That's exactly what it is. And he said to, I think to Inosanto, and Inosanto admitted that in an interview that Bruce said that he didn't believe that Filipino martial arts would work for real. I think he said that in an interview. Okay. Tarantino also said he was biased against Bruce because he didn't like his attitude for some reasons. I mean, for sure Bruce had an ego. I'm sure he had. But any person who gets at this level and gets this fame has to have an ego. You have to have an ego. Why? Because if you don't have an ego, you don't pursue things. You just let it go. Okay? Most people who are in the business, be it Tom Cruise, name all the names, all the big names in the film business, in martial art business, they all have an ego. Okay? It's okay having an ego, but I mean it should be like healthy relationship to your ego. Yeah. An ego, and Bruce had also some drug problems, so you don't know how much this was a reason of some of his behavior. So Tommy and Ted, great picture. Yes, thank you. I actually don't like any of Bruce Lee exploitation movies. They all suck, and Tarantino think they are great. I used to watch these movies when I was young a lot because they were in the German TV all the time. Does Tommy have uniforms? Let me show you that. Wait a second. So here. Okay, there you go. So you go to Tommy's page. Okay. Let's do it in English. So you go here to web shop. Here. Okay. Web shop. And then you have here categories. I have this body protector. This body protector is really good. If you don't punch really good, you can break your wrist on this. No, I mean this coaching protector. Okay, this is body protector. I mean this coaching protector. So then you have here focus mitts. You can order head guard, and then you can extra for the hand guard order this fencing type of mesh for this. Okay, groin guard, but this groin guard is not really a guard. This is just, you know, this doesn't protect your groin. This is just a to aim there with your kick. You should wear additional to this a groin cup, okay, which you can buy it somewhere else. Then you have here glasses you can use for finger jabs. Okay, these are metal. That's metal. It gets pretty quickly rusty because of the sweat and everything. So you see like you know, through the holes, you can see pretty good, and your eyes are protected. These are from metal. Sheen guards. I would say forget about these sheen guards, okay? Especially if you're a bigger person, because they don't fit me. I'm so large, this just covers my knee basically. T-shirts. So, and then you have all these French box gloves, Campo style gloves. These I don't like. These and these, both of them, I find them too heavy. So, what as uniform you can use this jacket, okay? Jacket, this stuff here, and the trousers. Then you have basically the uniform, jacket and the trousers. That's what some of my guys wear, and they should all wear. and we order that from time to time. So when so the people don't order it separately, but we have one package with all the stuff because the postage is cheaper then. So Walter Evans, did Tommy and Ted, who is this giant here? The old basement. Have you seen Walter Evans, his basement? Were you there at any point? Daka, Jesus, you look like a giant compared to everybody. Yes. Tommy is like Bruce, same size, exactly the same size like Bruce. I'm 6'5", close to 6'6". Fitness for the average. David Rubina, hi David, how are you? I believe everything you're explaining is legitimate, and I really appreciate you bringing this information forward. You're welcome. Well, I'm not. I'm not. How do you say? How do you say in English? Oh wait. I'm not inventing anything new. I'm just telling you what I was told myself. Okay, so. That's the thing. They are excellent Jeet Kune woman, says Walter. When they are small, they can be more determined. Yes. I mean, the Jennifer. That was name of my student girl there. She was really good, fast, super clean body mechanics. Clean body mechanics. Really, really. It's really rare to see people like this. What's next? How do you, by the way, how do you like the background? Tommy Noble, hi Tommy. Hi Thomas, have you or Tommy ever received challenges? Yes, only online, only over the internet, never in person. Okay, only people in the internet. But the challenge that works like this. If you challenge a guy, you go to him. Okay. There are many rumors about Tommy being challenged by Ken Shamrock or some other guy there. Ricky, I don't know, some Jeet Kune teachers in Glasgow. Oh, in Scotland. But Tommy told me he was never challenged. And I don't think that Ken Shamrock ever heard about Tommy. So, you know, these Tommy haters, one posts somewhere in a forum this nonsense, and the other one repeats. Same is with me. If this channel gets any bigger, okay, let's say 100,000 subscribers or something like this, or even more, which is very unlikely. So guys, you understand how YouTube works. YouTube works heavily against martial arts channels, because the advertiser don't like the content, so you don't get many advertisers that actually pay good money to Google to advertise over your videos. And that's the reason why your videos aren't pushed as much by the Google or YouTube algorithm. So always liking and always sharing our videos helps the most to break this negative YouTube algorithm against martial arts channels. The best channels that work are always the business channels. Some type of financial content. Okay, how to make money or invest in things. These are the channels that make most money and are pushed the best by the algorithm. I was never challenged in person, and believe me, if someone challenged me, I'm not waiting, I'm just hitting him instantly. And they know that. Because we are not going to play. When somebody comes to here, want to spar you, what do you want to spar me? Bam, finger jab, fertig. Finished. Or groin kick. Okay. Which is will this channel go on, or did you find another job? I haven't found another job, but I have probably to I have found one, but I didn't sign the contract yet. Okay, So let's see how this goes. I have to go there to Friday. I do a trial working day, and if this works out, this is just a typical early shift. So if I get this job, then I can run this channel, no problem. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? So, David Arena. Also, I had added your channel to my future channels on my modest YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Also, just added a like to the live stream. Yes, guys, remember, like always like. That costs nothing. Most people don't do this. Like 10% of people give you maybe a like, even less sometimes. And also commenting under the channel is also important for the algorithm. It doesn't matter what. Roland Diaz, have you seen Student of Taki Kimura? No. The guys from a student of his was in the chat a few minutes ago from the Seattle school. He was posting here. I heard about Bruce Lee's problems with drugs, sadly, yeah. I think, no, I don't think this is why he died. Why he died, I think there was some problem with cortisone. Linda's ex-husband, he explained this on his channel. There's a channel. The guy who wrote the book, The Unsettled Matters, he explained some stuff that makes really sense, and that even some other like doctors who re-examined Bruce's cause of death actually came to the same conclusion. Something with cortisone, I'm not sure. Darker, in Gods, especially the John Little Warrior Journey DVD, Bruce was kinda making fun of Kali in his fight scene with Inosanto. It's possible, yeah. The question is if he was making fun of the style or just general fun. Roland Diaz, I'm just disappointed Tarantino did not show true Jeet Kune. Tarantino is, I mean, he's just an entertainer. That's the fighting scene is just stupid. Quentin Tarantino doesn't know any Jeet Kune. He has no idea about Bruce Lee's martial arts. You can bet on this. He doesn't like Bruce Lee. Why would he study any of Bruce Lee's stuff? Daka. By the way, I have reached out to a few Jeet Kune channels that interview and mention your name and channel, but they were not reply. Of course. Okay, trust me. They know my channel. Most Jeet Kune channels are going to know this channel by now. And they know what content are we making. And not just content in the sense of arguing, but content in sense of making videos, how Jeet Kune works, what is Jeet Kune, how do you apply Jeet Kune, blah, blah, blah. And most of these Jeet Kune channels are either concepts channels or some other lineage, and they are not, this content we are making is not going to fit their teaching curriculum. And that's why they would never support us. Of course, I also would never support a Jeet Kune concept channel. And discussing all over the same subjects we went through at the beginning of the seminar, that doesn't make any sense. So that's why at one point I stopped to discuss with people on forums, on the internet, and then I decided I'm going to just make videos about what Jeet Kune is. And everybody can see this, and if somebody doesn't agree, he doesn't agree, I don't care. But for the people that would understand that, they would know. Roland Diaz, did you meet Jesse Glover? Yes, I met him. I sadly, let's see if I have pictures. Let's see if I have pictures. That was a day in Glasgow. But I don't think, because these pictures I had on my mobile phone, and I switched the phone and the pictures went away with the phone. And I don't have a picture. I have them on Facebook. I don't have the picture with Jesse and me, but I have made a picture with Jesse sitting on the couch with Tommy's son. I have that picture. And it's posted on Facebook. I have to look for it. So we did, like with Ted Wong, it was a 5-day seminar, and after the 5-day seminar, Jesse was giving, at the Saturday and Sunday, Jesse was giving a 2-day seminar on non-classical Kung Fu after this 5-day camp at Tommy's basement. So I trained 2 full days with Jesse, under Jesse, non-classical Kung Fu. And Jesse told to Tommy, where do you get all these talented people from? And Tommy said, I don't get them anywhere, they just come to me. Walter Evans, I wasn't at the basement, no, I saw you in the videos, okay. Roland Diaz, is there Audubon, a dangerous road? What is that? I have to Google for this. Is this a name? Is there Audubon a dangerous? I don't understand this question, Roland. Where are we? Oh yeah, background is good. Thank you. Okay, has Tommy ever been contacted to make crappy action films? Yes, he had. Okay, that's also a story. He had a few chances to make a movie, but the projects were always scrapped. And you know, the people there are always people that promise you something and whatnot. There was also this chance to do a movie with Donnie Yen. They sat together in I think it was in Hong Kong with a producer, but nothing came out of this. This was also in on the channel. What's the name of the channel, guys? Help me. I don't know. These guys who does always the interviews. It's not the Jeet Kune channel. Like he likes Van Damme, Jean-Claude Van Damme a lot, and all this martial art stars. Did you have legal problems for defending myself? No, I haven't. Pierre Kung Fu. I know of one challenge Tommy had, but I'm not going to talk about as it was only internet abuse. Yeah, but like I said, over internet all the time. Hey, come to me, I'm gonna fight you. Why should I go to you? If you challenge me, you have to come. Then the guy turned up in the seminar but was very silent and did not dare to come forward. That must be George. Pear? Is it the George? I think it was George, huh? Okay. Roland Diaz. Background looks good, thank you. Pierre, background looks good, thank you. Are you related to Karl Marx? No, I'm not. I get that question from time to time. Oh, so many. Wait. Melonhead. OG Jeet Kune. Original, yes. If you mean with OG original. By original. By original. We talk about true principles of Jeet Kune, okay? So. Roland Diaz, Century Martial Arts should support martial arts channels with ads. What is Century Martial Arts? Yeah, maybe they do. You don't know. Maybe I mean, if they can advertise. Is this a big martial arts channel? I mean, if they are a YouTube channel, I'm just gonna watch for that. As YouTube channel, I mean, why would you pay for other channels? Okay. I mean, they themselves are not so big channel if that's, you know, for 24,000 subscribers. And then when I go to their channel, you see, you know, their videos, they have like 50, 80, 100 clicks or something. That's nothing. That's not a channel that's flourishing. Okay, so they have their own problems, to tell you the truth. Roland Diaz, did you ever accidentally eye jab a friend of surprise? Yes. Yes, I did. I did scratch the eye retina of Fabian. He had, it was just slightly, but he had problems for 3 days. And also I jabbed a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. He wanted to see how fast I was, and he stepped towards me, and I jabbed him. And that was a pretty nice eye jab, because he couldn't watch for a few minutes, and for the rest of the day his eye was red. He was on a JKD seminar in back 2010 in Italy. He was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt, so so yeah, I have to be careful with this stuff. I don't do this for fun anymore. Well, you know, when you're young, you do more risks, but as you get older, you know, you have to think what can be the consequence of doing something. Daka, I actually went back to all your videos and liked all of them. That's nice, including the community section. You can see my old videos, how crappy they are, and with the time I started to use program for video editing and everything. Better camera, better. I use my I have a Samsung S22 Ultra, so I record everything with this at this moment. And I have external microphones, so the sound is good. Bruce Lee, hope your channel will last long time. I cannot watch any other Jeet Kune channel after discovering you. I can't watch any other Jeet Kune channels after discovering Tommy. I've made the same experience. After I went to Tommy in training and watching his stuff and training and learning that, I couldn't watch anything else. I haven't touched Tao of Jeet Kune since then as well, because Tao of Jeet Kune doesn't teach you any of this stuff. There's no point reading this. Only people who don't know Jeet Kune, they are always coming back to Tao, because there's nothing else they can actually, you know, when you have nothing, then you're desperate for anything. David Urbina, I saw a video of Mr. Tommy Carutas and his speed is very impressive. Yes, he's very fast. He's very fast. He's sudden. Okay, so is difference if you can accelerate your hand to a certain speed, or your starting speed is already fast. Okay, so when you're sudden, you're even faster. I love Jeet Kune. We love Jeet Kune. Everybody who is here in the chat, I guess, loves Jeet Kune. So, what do we have here now? Roland Diaz, does Germany give you supplemental income for losing your job, and is there any homeless problem like in the US? Yes and no. If you lose your job, you get supplemental income for a year, and this is like almost 67% of your last income. You get 67% of that for a year, and you're acquired to look for a new job for this time. And if you don't find anything after a year, then you get like basic social help. It's like $500 a month. That's as little as you can get. Homeless problem in the US. Of course, we have homeless people here, but they are only homeless by their own choice, because there's no reason to be homeless in Germany. If you can't afford a place to live, you get supplied by government, so you get basic apartment Okay. The homeless people in Germany are always homeless by their choice. In the US, it's different. You get sick and you can use everything in the US, which is not possible here. Let's not mention Mr. Bugs. Yeah, no. Guys, I have to go to toilet. Just a second. I will be right back. So I'm back. Okay. Let's continue. My God, my God. So okay. Where was I? Let's not mention Mr. Bags. Oh, Mr. Bags. Mr. Bags, Mr. Bags. He had a forum which is dead. Now I think they're only on Facebook. I used to be on that forum, posting from time to time, and Jesse posted a lot on this forum. Hi, M. M says, I practice on my own when I was 9 years old, studying Jeet Kune books. Okay, take this, okay, and watch my videos, and maybe take Tommy's online lessons, and train for yourself, and find a training partner. It's very important to have a training partner, and if you are really dedicated, you can come pretty far with that. Thoughts on Jesse's non-classical kung fu? It's not Jeet Kune. I can do all this stuff. I just would have to remember, you know, all the techniques, all the drills, because most of the drills Tommy showed us. But I mean, it's not Jeet Kune. Jesse's non-classical kung fu is based solely on attacking. So you attack first into opponent's cover. There's no defense in sense of evading punches, okay? Because Jesse was his opinion was that most people don't train hard enough or enough time to learn all this defense. So he only talked straight attacking. That's how non-classical kung fu actually works. Autobahn, yes. Most people think that the highway in Germany is like no speed limit, but only parts of it are no speed limit. Most, like 80% of the highway has some kind of speed limit. But here on the way from Darmstadt to Frankfurt, where I live, there's a whole the whole connection between the two cities is like it's 4 tracks per direction. So the whole highway is 8 tracks, and it's with no speed limit. You could technically drive 250 miles on it if you had the car. Roland Diaz, did Bruce met Ted in Seattle or LA? I'm not sure. But you can see here Ted Wong in this book, in these pictures, that these were made in late 1967, and this was still Oakland period, I think. And that was the year the Bruce used the name Jeet Kune for the first time, and Ted Vogt is already on these pictures. But I would say he met him around the Oakland period. Q Young, Talents People Collective Group, yes. Roland Diaz, was it hard to understand Tommy's strong Scottish accent? At first, no. At first, I had many difficulties. But through his online lessons, you know, like you learn how he pronounces the things, and then you can eventually understand it. But it takes time. I found Jeet Kune very effective for self-defense just by studying the books. Absolutely, that's I was the same. David Urbina, also excellent ambience in the background, very inviting. Thank you. It's like, you know, it's like brick wall, like you would find it in the street, and the street's name is Fight Street, okay? And then we have our logo there, you know, like you can see through. I was putting it together just before the stream. Looks nice, yeah. Bit music. I don't know how much you hear of the music. Give it a bit more. Here. So, if it's too loud, tell me. If the music is too loud, just tell me. Oh. So where are we? Yes, that was Bay Logan. I just read it. Okay, I'm too slow with the chat, man. Okay, I see. I'm gonna try to get faster through this. Viking Samurai, yes, that's the channel who did interview with Tommy and with Bay Logan on the story with Tommy for film with what's the Kung Fu guy? And the guy who played Yip Man, man. I'm getting old, guys, I tell you. Walter Evans, Tommy told the story, Donnie Yen, yes. Tommy told the story of Donnie Yen project on Viking Samurai channel, that's true. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. George the Lion pair. I know George, the George the big mouth. Roland Diaz. Sorry, I meant Autobahn with no speed limit. Where did you mention that? Yeah, like Autobahn is a highway, but the speed limit is not everywhere. Most of the highway in Germany has actually speed limit because conditions of the road, or because it's too near to a city, so you want to slow it down, it's not too loud and stuff like this. Q Young, such people who want to start a challenge, they just want to get their compensation for parents up. Yeah, Bruce was challenged all the time, but he declined most of the challenges, especially as he became famous. He was challenged all the time. Pear, Central Martial Arts is a big shop with martial arts related products, but there's also a webpage, Central Martial Arts. I guess they are going to advertise then. But you know, you can only pay so much. I mean, the big advertisers on YouTube or on the television are the big corporations. You know, like BMW, Mercedes, stuff like this. They pay really a lot of money. And YouTube wants them over every video. And when you have a video with contact that these advertisers don't want to support, then your video doesn't get pushed as much. Okay. So we can only survive by... Okay. working regular jobs or by just getting donated. Was it Bay Logan? Yes, Roland, it was Bay Logan. Tommy Noble, hi Thomas, have you heard of Bruce Lee supposed to have trained in the US under... Yes, I've heard that. Fok Yong, Wing Chun. Yeah, I don't know for how long and how much. I was still Wing Chun time. Daka, I agree, Bruce Lee. I can't watch another Jeet Kune channel after discovering this one. I have watched Tommy interview video, which I love, but I have hard time understanding due to his fixed Scottish accent. Yes, and Tommy has trouble to hide his Scottish accent. For example, Karim Davis, a student of mine, or former student of mine, but from time to time he comes back into our class and he does sometimes video clips for us. He's also from Glasgow, but he can speak English and German, where you can really understand him easy. So it's from person to person, it's different. He's from Glasgow, but he lives here in Frankfurt. Roland Diaz, what do elite grapplers think of JKD version of Jeet Kune? I don't know. They don't even know it exists. Most of these people, I have no idea about Tommy. Tommy is known just in the Jeet Kune scene, not outside of it. And Tommy's getting old. I mean, he's 20 years older than me. He's now 63. 7 another years, he's 70 years old. I mean, I'm 50 then. Guys, the time is running over us. Original Jeet Kune 2022. Original Jeet Kune 2022. How can I learn footwork Jeet Kune completely? With a competent teacher. That's the only way. That's the only way. What is this channel, Jeet Kune Original Jeet Kune 2022? Can you tell me who you are? Roland Diaz, what is actually target on knee to kick? Kneecap. Okay, you kick through the knee. Bruce Lee, is Tommy healthy? I see him cough a lot in the... Since I know him, he coughs. He used to have asthma when he was younger. I think this is related to that. Since I know him, he coughs. Austic, hope you can do some videos about knife defense in Jeet Kune. Well, knife defense it's difficult. Okay, so even doing this can be really misleading, because most of the time when somebody attacks you with a knife, you don't even see it. The guy sneaks on you and it looks like a punch. You should, when you defend yourself, you should always assume the guy has a kind of weapon on him, and he maybe already holds a small knife in the hand, and he just has it behind his hand, and he hides it so you can't see it. Okay, so remember that it's not like in the movies. I have a knife and I'm coming at you like this. So you should every guy you should try to intercept, to attack him into his movement, and not when the hand is already out. Because the thing with knife guys is this: a knife gives you instantly a black belt. Okay, so why is that? Imagine you have a knife in the hand, and now I stand in front of you, and the only thing you have to do to me is to touch me. With the knife, you have just to touch me. You don't need body mechanics. You don't need to put weight into your punches. You don't need to have proper body mechanics for kicking, punching, or even footwork. You just need to be able to touch me. It's like I try. It's like you try to stop me of touching you with my fingers. You can't stop me from that. The only thing, the only way to stop me is to knock me out. Because I'm gonna touch you. You can't prevent this. And when I have knife, I only have to touch you because knife goes so easily into your body. It's basically like a touch, and you cannot prevent people from touching you, guys. You have to understand this. You cannot prevent the people from touching you. Okay? Just to touch you. And a knife can cut you here and cut you here. That's enough. It's enough to touch your wrists, to touch your hands, to touch you. Okay? And you're cut. So the only way you can prevent this is prevent this before it happens, and then intercepting comes into the play. So you would use the same tactics and same strategy against a weapon or a non-weapon. Assume always there's a weapon in game. Okay? Okay, there you go. So we love Jeet Kune, Q Young, yes. David Urbina, consequentialism, exactly, excellent point you made earlier. Consequentialism, yes. Everything has its consequences, okay? If you don't go around, and that's what people say sometimes to me, go in the grappling gym and try to eye jab a guy. Even if I fail or I don't fail, I lose both. Imagine you go in a sport gym and you eye jab the guy, and then you get sued or your police. You know, you can't. I mean, and they say no, that's only an excuse. Go f yourself. Roland Diaz, are your videos filmed in a dance studio? Yes, that's a ballet school, and we teach there. Daka, how active were you in the Palbacks forum? Not very much. Not very much. I was posting from time to time only for a period of time, and I stopped going into forums in general before the forum actually closed. Did Bruce Lee abandon parrying? Yes and no. You don't need to parry actually if you move, okay? If you evade, you know, you don't need to touch the hand, you can counter with the leg. But parrying can be helpful, but I mean, it's not necessary. You always want to avoid any contact. Do people take advantage of welfare in Germany and never work as in the US? I don't think either is true. There is always a core of people that can't actually work for health reasons or anything, and but the percentage is always very small. You know, the people who make a lot of money, has so much money, but they still pay no taxes because they have so many loopholes, and they are actually the parasites of the society. That's my opinion. So Walter Evans, I mentioned Paul Bucks but deleted the comment because of misspelled words. Okay, so Karim, hi Karim, how are you, man? I was just talking about you. Just got back from holiday and wanted to stop by to show some support. Thank you very much. For those of you that might think Thomas is great in the videos, I can confirm he's even better in real life. I hope so. Thank you very much. Karim, where were you in the holiday? I think you told me, but I forgot. Where is it? Oh, okay. Roland Diaz, do you pay extra for YouTube? Yes, I pay. How does it go? YouTube Prime. Okay. I don't have ads, but how this works is when let's say you pay. I pay 18 bucks, 18 euros a month for this. So you don't get ads, but let's say you pay. You watch 10 videos that are about the same length in a month, and a part of this 18 bucks that I pay goes then to these creators, and it's parted. Depends of how much time I spend on their channel, so much they get from my fee. So That's how Prime works. There should be a sub Prime. So on Twitch, if you have Amazon Prime, then you can subscribe to a channel, and you pay nothing for it, and the channel gets like $2 a month or something. And YouTube should offer that as well. Then we would have a lot of more subscribers, but you would have to be forced to subscribe every month for new. That's how it's on Twitch. That would be good supports for channels, for creators. Karim, if you can try and travel to see me, also to see Thomas for the next seminar. Thomas, when will you give the next seminar? I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, when I start to work now, next month, I'm gonna be free on weekends. So it looks like. Then I can plan it when I want. So usually you don't want to do this in summer because it's too hot. Okay, so maybe someday in autumn. But I would, if it wasn't for this, you know, pandemic shit, I would have bring Tommy for autumn. But because all this starting new job crosses all my plans, so that's why this year is like there will be no Tommy in Germany this year. Let's see how the pandemic is develops for the next year. Walter, is Tommy healthy? Yes, he's okay. Walter, don't worry. Roland Diaz, did Tommy vocalize his disagreement with Jesse or Ted, or he respected them too much? He vocalized his disagreement with Ted, never with Jesse. Okay. Because Ted sport fighting, Jeet Kune. Ted said on 2 occasions that he would teach sport fighting. And Jeet Kune is clearly street fighting. And that where Tommy disagreed with him the most. Now the funny thing. Let me tell you this story. When Tommy had his forum on his webpage back in the 10th years, okay, like 2012 or 11 or something, more than 10 years ago, he asked a question. He asked in his forum a question. He said, there are 2 types of Jeet Kune Do. Which are they? And I myself was thinking, because I knew Ted, how Ted was teaching, and I knew how Tommy was teaching. And I said, there are 2 types of Jeet Kune Do. One is sport fighting and one is street fighting. My answer was wrong because Tommy was thinking about something different, okay? But that was the time before Ted actually admitted that he was teaching sport fighting. But I felt before Ted claimed that was what Ted was teaching is more for sport. No groin kicks, no eye jabs, no side kicks to knees. Ted never did that in any of his seminars or any of his videos or nor any of his students do that or instructors. That was Tommy's thing. Tommy was the only bad MF who was doing this. And now after Tommy, more and more people are adapting to that. But before that, Tommy was the only one. But some people were maybe showing this and that more on the video because they have saw that in these books. Okay, but before that, like all the tactics around this was only Tommy. And I felt always Ted Wong was more sport fighting type of guy, okay? And he initially he admitted this on 2 occasions, on 2 seminars. He was asked if this was what he's teaching was more sport or street fighting, probably because people felt the same like I did. And he said, yeah, was more sport fighting. One occasion, it was he did the seminar together with Jesse. Jesse was teaching non-classical kung fu. Ted was Jeet Kune Do, and Ted Wong said there he would teach sport fighting. And Jesse was he was also surprised by this, because he knew Bruce, and he knew Bruce was all about street fighting. And when Tommy heard that, he was very angry about Ted, because Ted Wong never said to him what I was going to teach you is sport fighting. But it made sense for me, because even Ted never said that before. I felt like this already. And I gave this answer into Tommy's forum. One is sport, one is street fighting. But wasn't what Tommy was asking about, and I can't remember anymore what it was. Karen Davis. Hi, Walter. I hope you're doing well. Okay, it's you too. David Urbina. Well, me being born in Bronx in the USA, which the Bronx is named after Jonas Brock. Also known as New Amsterdam. Yes, New Amsterdam. New York used to be named. The name of New York used to be New Amsterdam, and you can see some of the streets in New York, in Manhattan. They look much like a streets in Amsterdam. Quick history class. Lord, I see a stark difference between Germany. Yes. Also David, but also similarities. Yes. Pierre, Kung Fu, Sammo Hung. What's with Sammo Hung? Roland Diaz. Was it good replacement to use to practice knee side kicks? Was it a good replacement to use to practice knee side kicks? How do you think that? Can you elaborate your question? David Ubina, but I like the educational components of Germany that's made accessible to the populace. I guess. You have to, I mean, most of the things that are done in science are also in the US, remember that? Also Tesla and the shit. All these private companies that are profiting from this. All this scientific research comes actually from schools, from universities that are often financed by taxpayer. And then a company comes and buys this, and then they make money with that. Q Young, Donnie Yen had met Neil Shi, and Neil Shi is Tommy's student. Yes, I saw they were together on a Chinese interview. Okay. Oh, I think Neil Shi is a big Jeet Kune guy in China. He's in the TV all the time, isn't he? People in Hong Kong keep thinking Donnie Yen would actually beat Bruce Lee because he played Bruce Master. Yes, he wouldn't. He's no near Bruce. Roland Peer. Roland Diaz. May I have been in Hong Kong many times and they don't think so. Okay. Okay, so they don't think so. There you have Roland. Again, Roland, BMW and Mercedes should support German content. Yes, they support only themselves. Walter, Roland Diaz, elite grapplers don't realize what Tommy was taught fair barn skies by his father, and this stuff was more practical than a lot of called elite modern grappling. Yes, his father did kind of grappling stuff, yeah. Daka, I think Tommy's Scottish accent may have held him back in his potential movie career. I think as well. This could be really possible. Or he should have, he would have take some speak lessons. How you say to that? Many actors did this actually to get rid of their accents. Roland Diaz, how much does Tommy weigh? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I guess somewhere about 80 kilos. He's gonna have about 75 kilos, 80 kilos maybe. So convert 80 kilos, it's about 190 pounds, round about 75. Yes, I'm 43. I look like, yes, I look pretty young. But when you watch my photos when I was really 30, then you can see I looked like 16. My time is running as well, guys. So there's no much time for me left. The 20 years they are going fast by. Really, the last 20 years I can't even remember where they were. Q Young, 1 inch longer and 1 inch stronger, 1 inch shorter, one more dangerous. Karim Davis. Okay, so Tommy, when he was bouncer, Walter says, Tommy, when he was a bouncer in Glasgow, he saw many knife attacks in nightclub. Yes, he told me the stories as well. He saw many knife attacks. He told me at least the story of 2. And you never see the knife prior to the attack. You always realize that it was knife by the wound you see. It always looks like a punch when somebody attacks you with a knife. And one guy was even stabbed in the head. And it looked like a hook. And as later they realized that he had here a wound. Yes. Roland Diaz, all the knife attacks here on YouTube came out of nowhere. That wait until you have to watch all the CCTV footage with knives involved. If you can find them, then you can see what reality is. I'm not talking about these crazy guys that run around the city with a machete and wants to slice everybody. I mean like real CCTV camera where somebody comes and attacks somebody. And you cannot avoid anybody to touch you. Unless you're keeping really great distance. But knife attack is basically trying to prevent somebody to touch you, which is not possible. You have to knock him out before. Walter, Tommy would say on witnessing knife attacks, you never see the knife. Yes. David Urbina. Also, I don't complain because I got a good education in the public school here in the USA. Yeah, I believe that there are also good educations in public schools. Why not? I mean, everything is a question of money. How much support they get from the state. Q Young, yes, I'm his student. You met? Yes, Q Young, Karim. You know who Q Young is? Our one of our Chinese guys. Daka, have you or Tommy ever thought of putting a book or DVD series together? Tommy did think about that. I don't know if he's working on this. To me, this is too much work. I mean, putting a Jeet Kune book together. Imagine how much and how do you even do that to keep the high standard? If I would do a book, I would do just a part, you know, like just doing a book on Jeet Kune hook would be like this. If you go all in the details, a Jeet Kune book is like, my God, if you want really put everything in there, that would be like the whole set of books. David Obida, also did you even, you know, like even Jeet Kune does contain as many techniques as 5 martial arts, but all the details, all the small things in the techniques, you know. I don't know. It's like when I make a video, people complain you never explain the techniques, you know. If I would explain the technique, the video would take too long. Nobody was gonna watch that. And also you don't want to give everything for free in the internet. You know, I mean, like I don't do online lessons. I just try to educate people on what Jeet Kune is. That's the main goal. David Obina also did not meant to get off topic, just having it's no problem, no problem. Karim. Oh yeah, he's talking to other guys. So Roland Diaz, did Tommy start teaching after his viral? No, he was teaching way before that. He was teaching way before that. He had a school in Glasgow before that, and he at some point he had over 100 students. He told me that. So David Obina, I feel philosophical thought is also part of Jeet Kune, but it's far from my point of view. I don't waste too much time talking about it because it's most of the time it's misleading to people. Karim, I was in Liechtenstein, Austria, and Switzerland. Rest in peace, credit card. Haha. Could you? Yeah. Okay, I understand. Ice cream costs 19 euros in Switzerland, Zurich. Oh my god, 19 euros. How much? One ball? I told my girlfriend I love her, but not that much. Nice. What's time? Okay, guys. Soon I'm gonna have to stop the stream because kids have to go to bed, and my wife is on concert, so I'm alone here. I have to do all by myself today. So I extra started 1 hour earlier so we can talk a lot. Let's do another few minutes. Pierre Kung Fu, you asked about the name of other guy, Sammo Hung, who was with Donnie Yen when Tommy met him. Oh, Sammo Hung was there as well? No, the other guy was Bay Logan I was talking about. I didn't know that Sammo Hung was there as well. So Tommy met Sammo Hung, yes? Is that true? Oh, then he missed really some opportunity. If I was Tommy, I would take this opportunity. I mean, Tommy claims that, but I mean, this Scottish accent could be really a problem for these guys. Even they sometimes synchronize. So somebody else talks over the actor in the movie. David Urbina, yes, Tesla wanted free energy for everyone. Your thoughts on this? You know, the funny thing is about Tesla fighting for the climate change and everything, and then Elon Musk comes out and he says he's going to vote for Republicans, for the party that doesn't actually believe in all science, climate change and free energy. How does this fits together? So I'm not really sure. Okay, free energy. If we finally at some time can break through the nuclear fusion, you know, then we could technically have free energy for everyone. But the problem is, all this scientific research in nuclear fusion governments are doing that, and they are paying for this through taxpayers. And when there is a breakthrough, private companies are going to take this and they are going to make it and make money with this, despite it's all taxpayers' money that made it possible in the first place. That's how capitalism works. Walter Evans, hello, says error. Can anyone read me? Yes, I can read you. What's the problem? And Alex Stone, are you here? So still problems with the chat. Eric Keegan, hi Eric. I have a quick question. Could a pro MMA fighter be beaten by a normal Jeet Kune fighter? Probably not. And that's not the depends. Okay, that's not the question of the system. That's a question of how much these guys train. What I would say when you have two guys, one is an MMA fighter, one is a Jeet Kune fighter, and these two guys train similar amount of time and have similar talent, then I would bet on the Jeet Kune guy. Okay, so you can't take a Jeet Kune guy who trains 2 times a week or even 1 time a week and compare him to a guy who trains any system 6 times a week with a multi-million-dollar professional coaching team behind him. Okay, so that's not how you compare systems. Okay, so you have to compare it the same, and when they have the same amount of training and same amount of talent, then I would bet on the Jeet Kune guy. Walter Evans, oh dear. John Colon, who is the instructor for this martial art in Puerto Rico? I have no idea. You have to Google this. If there's any, probably there's none. And if it's there any, then it's a Jeet Kune concepts. How did I get my back injury? I don't know. I seriously don't know. My back pain started 2013. I just wake up one Saturday with back pain. Had no problems prior that. And over the years it came back from time to time and it went away. And then like 2 years ago suddenly I had a prolapsation on my spine disc. I didn't have some kind of experience where I tried to lift something and then I injured my back. This never happened to me. Daka, okay. I have a Rombaliki DVD where he's doing trapping drills with his partner who has knife. that's the most part. Yeah, that's this Kali Silat system. Like that would get you killed in a real situation. Absolutely. You have always to ask yourselves, these techniques that he performs against knife, if you had a knife, would he be able to do this against you? Walter Evans, come in everybody, the radio has gone wonky. What do you mean? Daka. A book or DVD from you and Tommy would be worth gold. Probably, yes. Bruce Lee, what concert? Ah, some Turkish. My wife is a Turkish lady. Some Turkish people. PGB, hi PGB. Nadi and okay. I see. That's a different answer. So please only English here in the chat. Walter Evans, I see your post. Okay, Karim Davis. Tommy has what looks like to be a very nice looking boxing book with the basics. He has these small books, yeah, booklets, yeah, but these are no real books. Joan Colon, PHP, to the Tommy Karuta standard, really? Who is that? I really, PHP, I really don't know who teaches. There's nobody under Tommy in Puerto Rico. We have an official list here. I can show you the official list. And it is here. Here you go. No, that's not the program I want to use. That's the program. So here. That's the official list. Okay. So we have UK, Germany, UK, Germany, China, Spain, Italy, Netherlands, Germany, Singapore, Korea, South Korea, USA. This is Slovakia. This is this guy is how do you say, Emirates? Okay, Egypt, Italy, Belgium, Germany, Spain, USA, Canada. Philippines, okay, Australia, Japan, and another in South Korea. So there's no official guy in. Ted Wong, okay, Ted Wong Liage is not Tommy Karuta standard. So just to be clear, that's sport fighting. What these guys do is sport fighting. So. Okay. So, Joe Cologne, okay. Walter Evans, it becomes on the screen, but not bold type, no proper type, or okay. So, Bruce Lee, maybe your back was affected because you're very tall. Yeah, that's definitely one of the reasons. You know, when you're big, you have a different leverage. But I didn't have like an injury where I injured it. It just went over the time. It went worse and worse. And there are different reasons why you can have back problems. Dhaka, I injured my back in the 20s. Couldn't walk for 5 months. Lost over 25 kilos in that time. Still I get pain and I'm over 39. Yes. try to stretch these forward muscles. This here. Okay, this, you know, under your belly and in the upper leg. So stretch these muscles. This helps me a lot when I stretch these. And general do a lot of stretching. It always helps, because the most back pain comes from disbalance in your muscles, and one side is pulling and other side is too weak. And when you stretch them and you train them, but you have to stretch them so this is balanced. John Collard, exactly. 10-1 Lions student Albert Gallares, Puerto Rico, talked how. Yeah, okay. I doubt he can move and clean as close as Tommy. The Jeet Kune in Puerto Rico is located in West Instructor. I mean, as teacher, you don't have always to be the best, okay? Some teachers are really good in what they're doing. The thing is, you have to know the material. Because D'Amato wasn't as good as a boxer as Mike Tyson, what I want to say, okay? So, but Ted Wong Jeet Kune is not Tommy Caruta's Jeet Kune. Tommy Caruta's Jeet Kune is pure street fighting. Ted Wong Jeet Kune is nothing like that. Yes, I was talking about that. Walter, we can see that. Bruce Lee, did Tommy get his certificates from Ted Wong and Jesse, from both? Okay. So guys, it's almost 10 p.m. here. 20 minutes to 10 p.m. So I would say we cut it here. I'm gonna let the stream run for a few minutes. So if you want to talk a bit to each other, you can, guys. And I would say see you in my next video, and then in the next stream. Thank you very much for being here, okay, for support and everything, and I hope you liked it. And guys, have a good night.